Okay, good evening, RGU. Hello, hello. Round of applause. We're here. Yes. Hello. Lovely to see everybody. RGU, yes. And welcome to the RGU Startup Accelerator Showcase 2026. Yay! We are here. We made it. We made it. Yes, it's fantastic. Okay, I appreciate people are still heading down. So if you could just sort of, make your way down safely, of course. Please grab a seat. I will say there are some important things on your seats too, so make sure you're grabbing whatever is on your seats. That will come in later, okay? It's really lovely to see so many people coming in, especially on such a dreary day. It's such a gloomy day, isn't it, with the rain and everything. But I want to say, on a day like this, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Gotham City, right? Okay, yes, the theme, the hero's theme, yes, trying to make it work, okay? So, we're really happy to have you here on campus tonight, on our beautiful campus, Riverside campus here in Aberdeen. And this is now, the third or the fourth year we're hosting this on campus, and it just works really well. So we're delighted to see so many familiar faces here again. At RGU campus. So I am your host, Aisha Kasim. I am RGU Startup Accelerator lead and showcase organizer. However, this is of course a team effort. Me and my team have been very busy all throughout today, setting up all these lovely seats and transforming the space. I hope Jeanette's pleased, because I know what you've got an eye for detail, haven't you, Jeanette? So cabaret style, absolutely. And we are really delighted, like I say, you can be here tonight. You are a good-looking audience, if I don't say so myself. Yes. Aren't you good? Yeah, give yourselves a round of applause for coming here tonight. Yes. You could have stayed at home, you could have put on Netflix, but you're here tonight, so we really appreciate it. And it's actually at full capacity tonight, so we're hoping that everybody can get here safely and get a space. Okay. Why are we here tonight? We're here to celebrate our startups. We're here to celebrate entrepreneurship, innovation, regional engagement, regional development. It's all very important. Get inspired as well. We're looking forward to the fireside chat later, all about commercializing deep tech. So that's going to be really exciting. And, we're here to see the startups at the end of the day. They've been working really hard over the past 6 months, and they're all sort of dotted around here. And I'm just so connected to you guys. I always get so connected every year to the cohort, but I'm incredibly proud of this cohort, especially, like I keep saying, because for the first time ever, we had a dual cohort. So we had one in Aberdeen, and we also had one operating in the islands, the Scottish Islands. So this was our first Impact North cohort, and it was just fantastic to see the blending of ideas, the camaraderie, everybody coming together across 500 miles of Scottish development, essentially, to come together to share ideas and be innovative. So I want to say, though, this is not just it's not just in the room tonight. We are actually, I probably should have put that slide on from the start. We are actually live streaming as well tonight. So I want to say a big shout out to our friends in Boston, our big shout out to our friends in Sri Lanka and Ghana who are all tuning in tonight. So a big shout out to you. Hope the weather is better where you are. And we are happy you can join us tonight. So like I say, Cohort 8 has been working really hard over the past 6 months. We've got 8 finalists in store for you tonight. So you'll see 5-minute pitches from 8 finalists tonight. So 5 minutes each on this stage, and you've all been practicing, so you'll be fine. You've done this before. And you'll have 1 minute from the questions from the judges as well. So hopefully you won't be too harsh, judges. Will you be nice? Phil Murray especially can't promise anything, I don't think. Okay, so you've got that to look forward to tonight. And remember tonight, you have got the power in your hands for voting as well. So you've got an all-important audience vote tonight. So everybody in person tonight will be able to vote. Online, you won't be able to vote, but in person, you will be able to cast your vote as to who you think your best pitch is later on our audience award. In terms of some of the highlights of the program, like I say, this is our cohort. This was the Aberdeen cohort at the boot camp back in December. This was our Islands cohort. We just had our first Impact North showcase in Orkney. I could see some Rhiannon smiling there, absolutely. Who's from Orkney? Yes, absolutely. And I will say up there, we've got all our lovely stands from Aberdeen. So we've got 12 startups from the Aberdeen startups, and we've also got a section dedicated to the islands as well. So please have a wee look during the break, really see what they've been up to. And we're also celebrating the Islands Entrepreneurial Network as well as part of tonight's proceedings. So that was us in our Orkney showcase just a few weeks ago in May. We'd had a great time, didn't we, Chris? We made it back. We went and came back, and it was great fun. And this is just, again, to demonstrate really the miles we're talking about here, the coverage from North Uist to Aberdeen to Shetland to Orkney. This has been a bit of an undertaking, but we're so glad we were able to deliver that quality program still to our whole cohort and keep things equitable. And that was really important, to keep things, to keep people feeling involved. We had some press along the way as well. 130 applications, 50% female founders, which is just fantastic to see. In terms of other program highlights as well this year, delighted to say that, one of our previous founders, Lucy from Inglaze, and Scottish Edge, she just recently won, not too long ago, an additional prize. So just, I'm not sure if people remember Inglaze from last year, however, she was in our last cohort. And this brings her total Scottish Edge prize fund to our winnings to 135,000, which is pretty impressive. And we're really excited to see what Inglaze is up to. Other highlights this year have been the Herald Education Awards. We were delighted that the RGU Startup Accelerator program was a finalist. A little bit more about that in a little while. And you're probably wondering why there's an old ship searchlight on the screen. I always struggle to say that word because of alliteration. Ship searchlight. We had it because we were really inspired by Heroes this year. And so we saw this online and we thought this is a fantastic way to sort of demonstrate the bat signal, if we can get it working. So it's up there. We have restored it. Phil from our engineering lab here at RGU did a great job restoring it and rewiring it and putting it back together. So do check out the bat signal ship searchlight over there. A piece of Aberdeen heritage, because I believe it's from an Aberdeen ship in the 1940s, and it was all dusted off. I drove all the way to Fordyce to get it, and we've put it back together. But that'll come in later as we proceed in the night. So just a reminder of last year's showcase. We were really happy to celebrate the RGU engineering staff from the 90s. The theme I picked last year was space, outer space, and I was delighted to find out that actually RGU had this amazing heritage with space and NASA and winning that competition in RGIT back in the 90s. So really happy to celebrate that legacy from RGU staff back in the day. Artemis was a big part. The Artemis Lego set was a very big part of our showcase last year. And we're really happy to see that theme has inspired RGU Arts and Heritage to actually put the space display out for everyone to enjoy over the last year as well. So really happy to see that. I put the Herald Education Award finalist picture up here because we're really delighted that even though we didn't win, the Accelerator didn't win our finalist prize category, unfortunately. However, we were delighted that we were able to collaborate and contribute to RGU winning the overall Institution of the Year big win at the awards. So it was just to demonstrate, and it's probably a lesson for tonight and also for the finalists. So even if you don't win tonight, you're collaborating and you're also part of something bigger. So it's just to encourage you to think along those lines. But we're absolutely delighted that the university was able to win that big institution win, and for the Accelerator to be a small part of that story. Okay, so that is me kind of wrapping up here. I have gone over the main bits and pieces, and I think I'm going to now welcome to the stage Chris Moole, the recently appointed Director of Innovation, Research and Innovation, RGU. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. It's the 8th year. I can't believe that we've reached the 8th year. I was in my mid-40s when we started this Accelerator journey, and many of you have been to a number of the showcases that we've had. And since 2019, we've had 3 First Ministers and we've had 5 Prime Ministers as well. And we went through a pandemic, and we still came out the other side. And when Aisha asked me to say a few words at the welcome, I thought, what haven't I said before that you've all heard in those last 8 years? So I thought I'd tell you a story. And this story is about last summer, my daughter, Emily, some of you know Emily, some of you have met Emily, we had a summer job at the Tech Hub, One Tech Hub, and the Bio Hub. She was a receptionist there. And I used to drop her off and pick her up and take her back down the A90 to my house. And one day, I'd had a particularly challenging day at work. We all have them. And I was in the car, and I was a bit grumpy, and I was moaning. And Emily turned to me and she said, "Dad, for the last 10 minutes, all you've done is moan." She said, "Where's a bit of gratitude?" I said, "What?" So kind of passenger princess with attitude, that's the last thing that you want. I used to prefer it when she was 8 years old, sitting in the back seat eating Skips or Quavers. She was a bit easier to manage then. But yeah, but she was right. And I thought to myself, actually, she's right, because I think we all need some gratitude for what we have. I have my health. I have a good job. I work with some fantastic people and have worked with some fantastic people. And I think that, you know, having gratitude for your family, friends, your health, and the people around you to lift you up. And I think that's what entrepreneurs need as well. And so those entrepreneurs that are here today, that are pitching today, remember you are surrounded by people that want to see you succeed. And all the people in this room want to see you succeed when you're pitching. Yeah, or when you're at your showcase. Because if you succeed, we get new products and services that solve the challenges that society have. If you succeed, you create employment opportunities, and goodness knows we've seen in the news recently that we need employment opportunities for young people, yeah? And if you succeed, and you succeed well, you pay taxes, and those taxes actually pay for education and health and everything that we need, those. So, and the people in the room here are there to support you. Now, I'm paid to support you. And I know other people in the room are paid to support you as part of that ecosystem. But, you know, I think that even if those people weren't paid, they would still support you. And I know that there are a lot of people here that have been mentors and supporters who are unpaid but want to see you to succeed. And you will come across real hard times, and people that have done it, and I've done it a couple of times, started their own business, there are really hard times that you go through. But there are people that will, when the chips are down, there are people that will have your back. And I think we should celebrate them tonight. Thanks very much. I'm going to leave this here, and I forgot, because I need to press that, and I would like to introduce Professor Nick Fife, Vice Principal for Research and Regional Engagement, to say a few words. Thanks, Nick.
Right, thanks very much, Chris, and thanks, Aisha, and good evening, everybody, and welcome to this wonderful event. It really is a pleasure to see so many founders, investors, partners, alumni, university colleagues and friends gathered for this year's RGU Startup Accelerator Impact North Showcase. Tonight really is a celebration of innovation, entrepreneurship and ambition, and an opportunity to recognise the remarkable achievements of the startups, not just here in Aberdeen, but as Aisha has mentioned, also in Orkney, Shetland and the Western Isles. Universities are often thought of as places that are just about generating new knowledge, but they are also places where ideas are translated into solutions, into businesses, and into social impact. And the Startup Accelerator plays an incredibly important role in that journey. It creates opportunities for people to test ideas, to build networks, to develop confidence, and create ventures that can make a real difference in the world. And tonight, you'll meet founders tackling challenges across industries and communities, some at the very beginning of their journey, others already creating significant impact. But what really unites them is this willingness to take an idea and actually to do something with it. That spirit of innovation and action is something that we're really proud of at RGU. We believe in creating opportunities and ensuring that knowledge, research, and innovation deliver real-world impact. And really, the Startup Accelerator embodies that commitment. It helps talented individuals develop the skills, confidence, and networks needed to turn ideas into sustainable ventures. And I think this evening is also a really good reminder that innovation is never a solo endeavor. Behind every innovator is also a community of supporters, of mentors, investors, partners, family members, and colleagues who help transform ambition into achievement. So to everyone that's contributed to the success of this year's cohort, a big thank you. And thank you too to our judges, Veronica, Jamie and Phil, along with our Accelerator programme funders this year, the Scottish Funding Council and the Knowledge Exchange and Innovation Fund. And as Aisha has already mentioned, but I think it's worth repeating, this year RGU was delighted to be recognised as the higher Educational Institution of the Year in the Herald Awards. And tonight's Startup Showcase demonstrates exactly why entrepreneurship, innovation, and community impact are such an important part of our story. And finally, I'd also like to acknowledge the outstanding work of the Startup Accelerator team for the high-quality program that continues to create opportunities for aspiring entrepreneurs across our university and wider community to the Scottish Islands and beyond. And then finally, I'm delighted to welcome Jeanette Forbes, OBE, our keynote speaker. Jeanette, as many of you will know, is the founder and CEO of PCL Group, and Jeanette has built a highly successful international technology business while inspiring countless others to pursue their own entrepreneurial ambitions. And her work was recognized recently by RGU through the award of an honorary degree. So please join me in giving a warm welcome to Jeanette.
A slight correction here. I'm doing the welcome speech. I'm not doing the keynote. I hope I haven't disappointed you. So, welcome to RGU's flagship Startup Accelerator program showcase. This year's theme is aptly called Heroes. Everyone in this room is a hero in their own right. Now in its 8th year and a Herald Education Award finalist in 2026, the Aberdeen cohort is supported by the Scottish Funding Council's Knowledge Exchange and Innovation Fund, and the Islands cohort is match funded through the Talent Island programme. Applications for 2026 were open to RGU students, staff, alumni, as well as participants from across the islands and communities. One example of how the Accelerator model works in helping to get a business started is a company called Highland Heritage Woodworks, based in Dunecht. A former Aberdeenshire oil and gas worker swapped the offshore industry to establish his own company, Highland Heritage Woodworks, 4 years ago, alongside Armans Ballams. The company provides sustainable timber to the construction industry and bespoke master carpentry. Currently employing 12 people and is on track to hit a turnover figure of 4 million by the end of this year. This is just one example of what can happen when you aim high and dream big. Many other companies have been incorporated through the Accelerator model, offered by RGU, where an idea has grown into innovative products or services being created by passionate entrepreneurs who believe they have what it takes to build a business. In this current climate, it's difficult, but challenging, but fully rewarding. My own business journey with PCL Group is well documented. How I started at the kitchen table in 2000 and now operate on a global scale, offering managed IT and cybersecurity services to 27 countries and creating jobs in other industries like hospitality, where the profitability from our IT business also creates new businesses such as Grape and Grain and Mediterranean, the restaurant. The programme continues to be a key part of RGU's commitment to entrepreneurship and innovation, building on strong partnerships with business and industry across the northeast of Scotland and supporting the creation of 250 businesses across diverse sectors. So this is where my work is almost done and your work starts. Guests, enjoy your time looking at what could become the next big thing in business venture markets in our mini exhibition. Participants, get ready to do some serious pitching, as this funding pot could be yours at the end of the night. Good luck, and always remember, aim high, always. Thank you.
So much, much, Jeanette. It's always fantastic seeing Jeanette, so thank you for your support. Okay, so I am going to go through a little bit of housekeeping this evening. So for those of you who are not aware or familiar with the building, just to go through a few bits and pieces. So we're not expecting any fire drills or alarms this evening. We did have one earlier today, but it's fine, it was in the morning. So if there is a fire alarm that goes off, we will need to vacate just through the doors you came in, and we can congregate across the road at the closest muster point, which is in the sort of car park, just so you're aware. In terms of the Wi-Fi, probably the easiest Wi-Fi is the cloud for you to connect to for 3 hours, so you'll just need an email address for that, unless you have an Edge-Your-Own password, of course, an account. And in terms of the loos, so probably the closest ones are just past the catering, and if you just take a left as well. Okay, so all within walking distance. All right. So like Jeanette was saying, they're really delighted that the theme this year is heroes. It's so inspiring. It feels like we all need a bit of inspiration right now, right? Yeah, so to prepare for tonight, I've been watching a bunch of superhero movies, so I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Right. Who's with me? Who's feeling heroic? Yes, who's with me? Good. The sun is coming out as well, which is great. Just to say about the name badges, you've all got your lovely name badges, which my colleague Yair was busy printing till very late in the day. But this holds your schedule as well. So just to say, if you're looking for a bit more, mine's squashed, but you've got your schedule on here. So this will tell you a little bit more about tonight's proceedings, okay? And also it will tell you, there's a couple of really important QR codes on there. So the first one is our sort of digital brochure, a little bit more about our yearbook this year, a little bit more about the program, and also the all-important audience vote QR code is on there as well. So keep an eye out for that. So like I was saying there, you know, we've got the startups who are pitching tonight, but also you will be able to win prizes, and I'll go into that in a little bit more detail. Just to touch on the lovely catering before we skip past that, and I'm glad to see some people have got some puff and poo on their tables. So who's tried puff and poo? Who knows what puff and Okay, great, a few hands have gone up. So this is an island delicacy, is that what you would say, Naomi? Not your island, okay. It's sort of coconut and like, how would you, biscuities. It's very sweet, a nice treat, yes. So these lucky tables have got some, so I will say if anybody wants to try, do come and help yourselves. Guy, you'll share, right? Yeah, someone else can try. But do try the puff and poo. We've got lots of islands-themed sort of, refreshments and things, some nice drinks and delicacies. We've got heroes-themed canopies as well. So we've got some web beetroot tarts. We've got some island storing away black pudding bats. And we've also got some green hero smash burgers. So please do make sure, Armark did a really good job, and you've got your menus on your tables as well. So please do make sure that you sample those this evening. Okay, so like I was saying, your schedules are your name badges. We're going to hear from 4 startups, pitches, each 5 minutes, and then 1-minute questions from the judges, sharp on the 1 minute. And then we'll have a wee bit of a break, and then we'll go into the next batch of pitches as well, and the All-Important Audience Award. So now about the awards but prizes you can win tonight as being audience members. So the first prize, we've got all sorts of prizes here tonight. They're all heroes themes. But I'll tell you how to win it first, and then I'll go into the prizes. So there's 2 ways you can win a prize tonight, okay, as an audience member. So the first competition is called Find the Joker. So this is what I was saying. When you sit on your cushions, you're going to have you should each have a card, a little superhero card, or if you're here at the front, it'll be at the back of your seat. So it's taped to the back of your seat. So you're looking for the Joker card. So have a look and see. It might be underneath the cushions, around the cushions, space. This is what the Joker card looks like. You're all looking for your Joker card. Okay. Actually, was it that one? We went for the Green Goblin, didn't we? Okay, not every cushion has one under, so maybe have a wee look and see which ones have a card. But you're looking for the Joker. Actually, it's a Green Goblin, isn't it, we went for? The Green Goblin Joker, okay? So you don't need to do it now. Don't worry, we will come back to it after the break. Let's keep focused. But we're looking for the Joker card, okay? So that's the first way you can win prizes. The second way you can... People are getting really into this, okay? Oh, someone found it. Oh, wow. Okay, let's do an early prize. Okay, let's do it. Okay, come on, Fiona. Let's give you an early prize. Come on, a round of applause, please. Come on. Can I get my assistant? Assistant. Sorry? There's another joker. No, there's not another. Murray, you're not an actual joker, are you? No, there should only be one. Yes, you're the Green Goblin. All right, come on. Can I get my assistant, Claire, glamorous assistant? Bring the first. Is the Batman signed plaque? Another round of applause, please. Fiona, it had to be you. Let me just verify this. Yes, that's real. I can verify. Can we take a picture? First award of the night. And what is the award? You have a signed Michael Keaton Batman plaque, okay? And Michelle Pfeiffer. So this is the sort of stuff you're in for tonight, guys. Yes. Should I shake your hand? There we go. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Well done. Another round of applause. Okay. Didn't expect to do it that early, but why not, right? Okay. So you don't need to look for any more Joker cards. That's it. Okay, so that's the first one. That landed really well. Good. The second competition, or way you can win prizes, is a good old-fashioned way. So posting on social media. These are the hashtags to use. So RGU, or hashtag RGU Startup, hashtag Startup Showcase, and hashtag RGU Startup Accelerator. And I will say there is one more fun one, okay? Best dressed. Okay, so we're going to see how that evolves during the evening. So no judgment. Okay, right. I will say we're looking for people who embrace the theme. But yeah, okay. So that's some of our social media activity. So please do keep posting. Post on LinkedIn. Post on our RG Innovation and Instagram as well. And we are keeping an eye on those posts online. Okay, Graham, yes? Graham will be posting. I just saw my colleague Graham Carter in the room. Graham, you'll be posting, won't you? You love LinkedIn. Sorry? If you had a phone, yes, you need a phone first, folks, absolutely. Okay, so we'll get started in the interest of time. Another hello from, that was a bit preemptive. Another hello from our good friend in Boston who would like to wish good luck to the startup cohort as well, Paul Cheek from MIT. Okay. Oh, okay. Have we got that? Okay.
Take a look around the room. The people next to you, the people behind you. Today's theme says heroes are closer than you think. And that's exactly right. Because the people who solve the world's hardest problems, they're rarely the ones who you see in capes. They're the ones right here in the room with you. Hello from MIT. A very warm hello from Cambridge to Aberdeen. I've spent enough time in the northeast of Scotland to know two things. First, the weather there is honest. And second, people don't just talk about the work, they do it. And that is already half the formula for a founder. We send our congratulations to this cohort and to Aisha and her team. And well done on year 8 of the Accelerator. Just amazing to see the progress over the course of time. Now, here at MIT, we believe entrepreneurship education has one job. Not to teach people to write business plans, not to lecture on theory. The job is to turn ideas into ventures that solve real problems for real people. That is the whole reason we teach disciplined entrepreneurship. And that's the reason I wrote Startup Tactics. One of the things I know is that with structure, we can all achieve more than is reasonable with the resources we have control of. And the methodologies, the frameworks that we use aim to provide some level of structure to help every entrepreneur all around the world achieve what they set out to. Because great strategy without tactics is the most common way founders fail. I'm honored that you've referenced Startup Tactics as part of this year's program, and I can't wait to see all that you are able to do in employing those tactics to create careers, to create companies, and most importantly, to create impact in the world around us. So here's what's changed. We're now in an era of AI-driven enterprises. What that means is that AI-driven entrepreneurs have the ability to start and scale faster than ever before. The tools to build a company, to test a market, and to reach a customer have collapsed in cost and time. Cost and time are the two most precious resources for any and every entrepreneur. A founder today can do in a weekend what used to take a team a year to accomplish. But that doesn't make entrepreneurship any easier. It makes it more urgent. Because if you can do it, someone else can too. Today, you're going to see a panel on commercializing deep tech. Pay close attention to that conversation. Deep tech is where the hardest real-world problems live. In energy, materials, marine, healthcare. Those problems don't get solved from the sidelines. They get solved by founders who decide to do the work systematically. And from Shetland to Orkney to the Western Isles to Aberdeen, that work is already underway in your cohort. So today, I'll ask that for those of you presenting, pitch like it really matters. You know more about your business than anyone else. Your business really matters. That work matters. Tell us about your customer. Tell us about your product, your traction. The heroes were always closer than you thought. They're in your seats. Good luck from all of us at MIT. Now go out, put a line of customers down the street, waiting for what you've built. Remember, discipline beats inspiration every single day. You'll get some inspiration here, but the hardest part of entrepreneurship is just getting started. So for those of you who haven't yet taken the leap, the time is now. Watch and celebrate those who are maybe one step ahead of you, and make sure to talk to them afterwards. I know they have wonderful stories to share.
So thank you so much to Paul Chig. It's a privilege that we have this incredible, strong relationship across the Northeast with MIT. They're doing some amazing work, and most of you have now got his book, Startup Tactics, as well. So yeah, we were delighted to have that. So I'm back on now because I have been asked to talk a little bit about the prizes that are on offer and introduce you to our judges as well. So we have a number of different prizes, and we also have this audience vote, and the audience vote will be 20 minutes, and you'll be told when that is going to open. As Aisha said, there's a QR code on the back of your badges that you can scan, and you will have the opportunity to vote. It will open, and we'll tell you when that's open. You'll then have 20 minutes to cast your votes, and then the votes will close for that. But we have a number of different awards, and we have a panel session a bit later on, so we're delighted to see a number of people that have been on the cohort previously and have experienced the showcase and have stood up on the stage and pitched, have come back to tell you their stories, and it's great to see them all in the room. The prizes that we have, so we have, this year we have a Supporter of the Year award, so we're going to be thanking somebody who supported the cohort as a volunteer. We have the Extra Mile award, that's given to someone who has gone the extra mile, who has turned up to every session, who has been an integral part of the cohort and just been so supportive of everybody else. We have a number of stands, and you would have seen all the stands up in the showcase, and we have a prize for the best stand. The Felix Chung Sustainability Award. Now, Felix Chung isn't here tonight. He was here last year, I think, but he donates some prize money for a sustainability award, and so we thank him very much for that and his continued support with the showcase. This year, for the first time, we have a Creative and Culture Award, which is worth £5,000. We also have the Innovation Award, the Impact Award. We give a prize for the best pitch as well, and the Audience Choice Award, which is the award that you will vote for. Finally, before we get into the pitches, let me introduce you to our judges, the real superheroes. I think it was Batman, Robin, and Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman, do you like that? Oh, Catwoman. Whatever you say, whatever you say. So, first of all, we had Jamie Hutchin, and Jamie is known to many of us. Jamie has over 20 years leadership experience across both the public, private, and third sectors. He used to work at RGU as well, so we were once colleagues a few years ago. He's now the director of DYW Northeast, which is a job that he recently took up. Formerly, prior to that, he was leading the business gateway services across the Aberdeen City and Shire. But when I first met Jamie, he was running Cocoa Ooze, a well-respected entrepreneur from the region. So can we have a round of applause for Jamie Hutchin, please? And next is Veronica Ferguson. Veronica is the head of the Regional Hub and Operations Manager for the Innovation iCure program. But she's been actively involved in business development and development of businesses across Scotland for many, many years. And also was the Enterprise Staff Manager at Edinburgh University. Is that about right? Yeah, great. And she's a real supporter of company formation and scaling. She very much sees it as a team sport. And so I'm delighted to welcome Veronica to the judging panel. And finally, Phil Murray. Phil will be known to many of you across the Northeast. Is an entrepreneur, investor, and digital innovation, having founded Petrotechnics many years ago. How many years ago was that, Phil? 30 years ago. Wow. And he led the development of cutting-edge operational risk management software. He was very young when he started it. But under his leadership, Petrotechnics earned the prestigious European Growth Strategy of the Year award before successfully exiting to a major software corporation. Phil is now the entrepreneur in residence at the university, a position which he's held for a year and a half. And he's working very closely with our new Digital Innovation Lab to support the next generation of entrepreneurs. So thank you very much to Phil for joining us this evening. I think it's pitch time, folks. Is that right? Let me just check. Yes, it's pitch time. So, I would like to introduce our first pitcher for this evening, which is Equity Lighthouse. Give them a big round of applause.
So growing up in Iran, we used to sit on rugs for everything. No fancy sofas, not even dining chairs. And school was very different too. So later, navigating the UK system was hugely challenging. From wondering, why is everyone writing back to front? To not having English as my first language, to struggling with a panic attack every single day on the bus to school. And honestly, I would not be sat here with you today if it weren't for my guiding light, my mum. But we all need a lighthouse sometimes to guide and lift us up. I'm Layla Neshat Mokadam, co-founder of Equity Lighthouse, a training, research and consultancy organisation.
So when I was 8, my family moved from Australia back to Malta. I didn't speak, read or write Maltese, and learning was so different. I was expected to get on with it, so I did, but I didn't thrive. And because of that, I assumed I just wasn't academic. But the reality was that I simply didn't learn in the way that that system expected me to. And years later, I finally understood that. And here I am today, a pharmacist and an academic, having completed my PhD here at RGU. I'm Claire De Pasquale, co-founder of Equity Lighthouse. But Layla and I aren't the only ones to have faced challenges.
Absolutely, Claire. Inequalities are widening across our classrooms, our communities, and our workplaces. Whether it's men in Scotland's most deprived areas living in poorer health, whether it's mass exodus of talented workforce because they don't feel they belong, or whether it's black women still dying in pregnancy, this is not okay. Over my 20-odd years of working in academia, in the NHS, and now doing my PhD at RGU, I've come to understand something. Organisations are under increasing pressures, societal, operational, and regulatory pressures to demonstrate equity, but many don't know how to achieve that.
So in Maltese, we would say, a bit la vera tib damet, and if real change starts with understanding. Systems built around a single way of thinking inevitably leave people behind. When organizations rely on one-size-fits-all solutions, even the best intentions can fail. At Equity Lighthouse, we bridge that gap. We support educators, researchers, and organizations to design and implement equity strategies that deliver meaningful change. Our services include cultural and collaborative workforce training, organizational consultancy, including audits, and public health research. So, what makes us different? Our multilingual, multi-ethnic, multidisciplinary team combines lived experience with professional expertise, bringing in co-design approaches and systems thinking into every partnership. Collaboration is at the heart of everything we do. We design equity strategies with people, not for them.
So where are we now? As a mission-led organization, we have focused on building strong foundations. Our first pillar is credibility. We are Companies House registered, we are a Disclosure Scotland accredited body, and we are a UK registered learning provider. Our next pillar is viability. We have successfully gained seed funding, startup funding, and grant funding, and we are absolutely delighted that the Lighthouse Heritage Trust has funded our Global Citizenship Education Programme for schools in Aberdeen and Aberdeenshire. Our next pillar is scalability, and our early commercial traction has involved commission training, notably at the Wellcome Trust for Health Data Research UK. As you can see behind me, our reach has involved over 280 learners, over 150 public health practitioners and researchers, and over 240 members of the public here in our city of Aberdeen, and that's through Noruz Aberdeen. So, where next? We want to move beyond founder-led delivery and actually get our training accredited, and we'll be using the RGU Accelerator funding for that. And we want to actually develop our products, which will be our digital learning tools. As well as that, we want to expand beyond the UK market, and we've started working with Kaduna State University in Nigeria. And we are super excited. We've just found out that our first cohort of interns start this month. So, what we're asking for today is we are looking for strategic partners across public health, higher education, and the corporate sector to actually pilot, evaluate, and scale our products, including our training and our digital products. And we would love to add you to this growing list of amazing partners we've already worked with over the last 18 months. And we promise, don't we, Claire, that next time we'll bring the chairs. Thank you.
Lena, questions?
Sorry,
Hi,
I was going to
guys.
escape there. I forgot about the questions.
No, this is the difficult bit. No, it's the easy bit. Well done. Great storytelling. Really enjoyed that. A couple of things I had, but I'll just ask one. Do you have a primary market that you want to go after first?
Yes, so although we focus in on education first because we are educators, our primary market is going to be health equity. So our equity measures are across health and education, but our primary one will be health equity. And the reason behind that is because most of the regulators now have recently changed so that all health research, public health and health research, needs to have equity documented, evidence, and be part of that. And we spent about 6 to 9 months of first starting up, actually listening to customers, doing networking,
Yep.
and we heard the same message. And so it came from our client base that actually there is a need to have a group of people that bring lived experience, but also have the expertise. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Great. Thank you. It's always quite hard going first, isn't it? But, you know, someone's got to do it. And I believe you were also in our Women in Business program as well, so Leila and Claire. So really great to see that sort of full cycle through the Accelerator as well. Okay, so I'm delighted to welcome next to the stage our second pitcher, so Surya from Tactical Data Company, who's also been a joy to be part of this program. Thank you. Round of applause.
Thank you, Aisha. So, AI. I mean, you know about it, right? It's everywhere. And we are told that we need to use it. So big companies are scrambling to adopt AI. But 95% of AI adoption fails. That's 1.7 trillion pounds of wasted investment worldwide. Because this change, it's not just about technology, it's about people. The people in your organization. Your organizational chart can only reach 30% of your employees. What if you could reach 70% instead? And what if you could do that without any additional interviews or surveys? This is where we come in, the Tactical Data Company. Our software helps leaders de-risk AI adoption And we do that by letting you see your hidden influences. This visibility, it is critical. Take the example of a major hospital, which spent 18 months planning what should have been a flawless AI adoption. The day shift reached 89%, but the night shift, only 12%. And for weeks, no one could figure out why. Till they started speaking to the teams and realized it all came down to one person. This person was not a manager, not on any organizational chart, but a senior nurse who everybody trusted. And this one person's distrust of the new system had influenced the entire night shift. But here's the thing. If you could have identified this person early enough, they could have accelerated your adoption instead of delaying it. And that's the problem we solve. So I'm Surya, and along with co-founder Tim, we bring together a unique set of skills that is perfect for solving this problem, with expertise in data science and in change management. And our first hire as we scale will be an organizational psychologist so that we can add to the skill set. Meta and LinkedIn have made billions understanding network, and we are using that same power, but we are turning it inwards. Organizational network analysis is a proven theory. With our software, we are making it quick and scalable. And we are using communication data that you already collect, which means your privacy is protected. We have 4 key competitors worldwide, but none of them use the analytics, the theory, with a privacy-first approach, which is designed specifically for AI adoption. This is what our software looks like. So do come to the stand and see our prototype in action. Our platform can give you critical insights in 3 seconds and deeper intelligence in 30. Our target market is UK companies with over 250 plus employees. And we are starting in Scotland, where you have 70% of companies yet to adopt AI and a government that is actively supporting it. We are revenue generating from day one with our consultancy services, shown in blue, till the software scales and becomes the primary driver, reaching 1.4 million by year 5. And even in our most pessimistic scenario, we break even in year 1. When we came into this accelerator, all we had was an idea. Everything else that you see was built right here. We have a clear target market, we have a functional prototype, and we are looking to build our MVP. But at the same time, we have learned so much, and we are in conversations with 3 different companies who are interested in working with us. So our ask, partner with us. We are looking for partner companies to pilot our programs. Thank you.
Hello? Yes. Hi.
Hi.
Great presentation. I think you've identified a key problem in all technical adoption. It's always about the people and the key role that influencers have on that. Can you try and help me a little bit more about how you use the data that you're finding to actually locate who are the real influencers?
Okay. Do you want to do this since I did all of the talking before?
Yeah, so not all communication is created equal. So as we were talking about earlier, email communication is probably the most frequent one. But you can even break that down into 2, CC, BCC, etc., which will tell you about the level of importance of that communication. But actually what starts to get really interesting is the more informal communication. We've got Teams, we've got Slack, we've got all sorts of other communication technologies. And if we can capitalize on that, that will tell us the real influencers because they're speaking to one another.
And can I just add that basically we are looking at the timing, the duration, the frequency of the communication rather than the actual content.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Well done. Fantastic. Great to see about data. And there's such a range. We've got range. We had equality, diversity, and inclusion to data. I love the cross-pollination of ideas. Fantastic. Thank you to Surya and Tim. Okay, I'm delighted to now welcome to the stage our next speaker, who's actually an RGU academic herself. Big round of applause for Hussein from Kinetics. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is, don't worry, this is a white paper. I'm not that nervous. My name is actually Hussein Sangana. I'm the founder of Mara Kinetics. And don't worry, again, I'm not going to claim that I'm going to solve all the world's problems. We, however, do try to tackle one of the key problems that our world is facing, which is access to reliable green energy. And today I'm going to tell you the story of Mara Kinetics, how it started, and what's going to do. So that's what I'm going to do, the story of Mara Kinetics, if you are ready. So once upon a time, there was a good-looking guy, myself. So once upon a time, there was a good-looking guy who spent 15 years of his life working on flow-induced vibrations, a scary, destructive type of vibrations that can happen on airplanes, which are not playing right now, and the bridges, offshore environment, everywhere. So I spent 15 years of my time working on these type of vibrations, mainly to predict them and prevent them. One day a guy came to me and asked, do any of these have any positive applications? And I was like, 15 years away, so I don't know. And it was with me until I started working on renewable energies, and then on a eureka moment, I said, why don't I use these type of, oscillations that you see here? You see, there is a cylinder here, and vortices behind it. When the flow passes the cylinder, I hope you can't see the vibrations yet. I said, why don't I use these type of vibrations to extract energy? And we spent the past couple of years here at the RGU to design a system like the one that you see here that captures those back and forth motions of a cylinder in 2 dimensions due to those vortices that I showed you to extract wave and tidal energy. It will have a lot of benefits with it. The key benefit is the simplicity, which makes it more available. It also will be beneficial in terms of, because most of the parts will be based on mass-produced components, so you will have a low capex, and because everything is also outside of the water, you will have a low OPEX as well. So we did the test simulations, mathematical modeling. So that kind of brought us to a TRL level 3 at the moment, because we were mainly working on making sure that it's going to work. So we are at the TRL level 3, okay? And for the next 1 year time, based on the knowledge that I've gained from the RGU Accelerator, from the IQ, for example, we are hoping to make a TRL level 4, one step further, and then, continue with the more detailed market search as well as product development, and then continue into actual pilot deployment using the test beds that are available within 3 to 5 years, and then go to the market. And by the market, there are different customers that you can think of, and we can think of these nice tropical islands or any island community, aquaculture industry, existing installations and offshore offshore environment. So these are the type of customers that we are thinking of. And once the company is established And we are thinking of selling the sale of the actual components, the maintenance services, as well as licensing it for, because it can be deployed on remote islands in different parts of the world. So that's how was the story of Nimara Kinetics and what it wants to achieve within the next 12 months, 2 years, and then 3 to 5 years. Thank you very much. But I think I moved it too much.
Perfect. I'm just interested in your low capex and opex cost.
Yeah.
To get you to TRL 3 to 4, I think it was 250,000 to 1 million. How are you going to get to that stage? So you need quite a lot of investment, but your capex and opex is quite obviously advantageous. So how do you get to that 3 to 4?
From 3 to 4.
Yeah.
That one I have. That's fairly the easy part. I hope that with the funding that RGU Accelerator provides, I had actually done the test in the lab, but because it was not producing energy, I didn't call it a TRL level 4. Now, I think with the budget, it allows me to make that a small move and make it a TRL level 4. Once the actual prototype, which has the movement, electricity and everything, then I'm planning to go for bigger fundings like a proof of concept and so on. Thank you. Cheers.
Well done, Hussein. It's such a fantastic range of ideas we've got on the stage already, and we've never had augmented reality as part of the pitching before, so that was pretty cool. Now it's all about innovation at the showcase, so it's great. And I'm delighted to now welcome to the stage our next pitcher. So we've gone from RGU staff, a lecturer, and I'm now going to introduce a third-year School of Computing student to the stage from Charging Tech. Nathan, come up to the stage. Big round of applause.
Thank you, Aisha, and hello, everyone. Right, before I say a word about my pitch, I would like to give my product a chance to speak for itself. This is a PlayStation 5 controller, and this is Chargy. Chargy clips onto the controller, and the controller begins to charge. My name is Nathan, and I am the founder of Chargy Tech. Chargy Tech is a gaming accessory company that I started in the summer of 2025. We're currently developing our first product, which is called Chargy. Now, Chargy's main purpose is to tackle a seemingly small but extremely frustrating and reoccurring issue that millions of gamers worldwide face, and that is the problem of poor controller battery life. Now, before I go into more detail about Chargy, I would like to walk you through how I got this idea. So I was working at the time. Is my mic on? Sorry. I would like to talk you through how I came to this idea. So I just got off work. I was working retail. And if you know anything about retail, you know how stressful it can get. And towards the end of my shift, all I wanted to do was go home and play the new Spider-Man game that I was looking forward to. Now, I finally got home, turned my PlayStation on, grabbed my controller, sat on the couch, ready to dive into the session. Not even 2 minutes into the session, I got a message saying my controller battery was dead and there was nothing I can do. In that moment, I began to ask myself, how is there not a solution for this problem that I experience on a day-to-day basis? And then I wrote it down in my notes. The next morning, I began doing my research, and that is when I realized that there is a massive gap in the market for gaming accessory products. And that is how Chargy Tech was born. Chargy is a lightweight, compact clip-on battery pack for the PlayStation 5 controller. It allows gamers to continue playing games for longer. It takes away the interruptions from using a cable. It takes away the unnecessary cost of paying £70 for a second controller. And the best thing about Chargy, it was built around the problems that were raised by our competitors' customers. They said it was too bulky. Chargy is lightweight. They said the connection was loose. Chargy uses an adhesive strip at the bottom to ensure the fit is compact. They said the quality was poor. Chargy is going to be the exact same material as the PlayStation 5 controller, which means it's going to feel like an extension of the controller rather than an external battery pack. During early market research, it was revealed that majority of players don't find the issue with the controller battery life. The real problem for them is losing the wireless freedom. Chargy Tech offers a wireless solution to a complicated problem that millions and millions of gamers experience. So I've spoken a lot about the product itself. I'd like to speak more about the business side of things. Chargy plans to make majority of its sales on a direct-to-consumer basis. This will be done through a website that is currently being finalized and being published. Our beachhead market is active PlayStation 5 players with one controller, because I believe they will be able to understand the pain more. The route to market we want to take is to adapt and build a community. The marketing strategy we plan to use is to make use of streamers, social media content creators, platforms, and physical advertisement as well. Right now, we plan to use affiliate links to generate traction to the website. The current stage of Chargy is a working prototype. We currently have everything secured, the trademark is done, and all this was built while studying full-time, working 2 part-time jobs, running a small side business, and funding the early development by myself. What I'm currently looking for at this stage of the business is to generate useful industry connections, people who can take our name into the right rooms. That is what we're currently looking for. We're also looking for assistance with certification because the process is very, very complicated. We're also looking for guidance, advice, support in launching hardware products. Thank you. Stay unplugged, stay in the game. God bless.
Thank you, Nathan. It was such a good presentation. You've almost got me into gaming. You're talking about the stage you are in terms of your product development. It's a long journey from where you are to being able to sell a commercial product. How are you going to finance yourself through the stages?
What I plan on doing at this moment is making use of every funding that's available to me. I've managed to do the early development out of my pocket and with support from RGU as well. And so the later stages, the plan for that would be to use external funding to support the manufacturing. We've received quotes from the manufacturer, so it helps to budget because I already have a figure that I can work to.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Absolutely, well done, well done. And you know, you're certainly holding your own. We've had PhD students, we've had staff, we've had a third-year student, incredible, so really well done. Right, so folks, that's our first 4 pitches there. Can you imagine? It's all flown by, hasn't it? Yeah, round of applause again, yes. Minus the pun. Flying by, heroes, cool. So we're going to go into a wee break now. So we are running a little bit behind, you know, we're 9-10 minutes or so behind. But if we could come back for past, so that's about 25 minutes just to peruse, have some drinks, chat, check out the all-important startup stands, network, connect, the ecosystems in the room. So it's amazing to see such fantastic turnout from everyone. And also, please don't forget, do be posting, you know, go online, go on LinkedIn, and do put those all-important posts out using those all-important hashtags, RGU Startup Showcase, and RGU Startup Accelerator. We've already had the Find the Joker competition, so that's that part's out of the way because they'll give the people what they want, absolutely. So the second competition will be when we return from the break, and that will be the social media post as well. So see you at past. Enjoy the refreshments. Thank you. Good. We're back in the room. We're back in the room, folks. So it's great to see everyone is enjoying the refreshments and mingling. And like I say, the ecosystem mingling is fantastic to see. Really good. And there will be a little bit of time for that right at the very end as well. Okay, so we're just going to get started as you're all taking your seats. We're going to play a really short video, well, 7 minutes long or so. And it just gives you a bit more of an idea of the flavor of the program this year. Okay, thank you. The RGU Startup Accelerator Impact North program in particular has been really exciting this year because for the first time we are working with islands-based startups alongside the Aberdeen startups in a tandem cohort setup.
We wanted to combine the Aberdeen cohort and the islands-based cohort across Orkney, Shetland and the Western Isles to bring that richness and to, again, just to keep it fresh and to keep it evolving.
Just seeing the cross-pollination of ideas, you know, it's already a cross-industry program, but just seeing that collaboration with the place-based aspect as well as the innovative aspect has been really exciting.
When we started on this journey, we were very passionate about what we wanted to do. We knew our mission, our ethos, but you know, we're from a pharmacy background, academic background as well, so we lacked that business acumen, and the startup has really helped us in that sense.
We were quite apprehensive about whether we should apply or not, but actually we're really pleased we did, and it's a fantastic cohort that we're with, so we're really enjoying it.
The highlights for me is really thinking about the customer, thinking about the market, the persona of the customer, and also not just going off assumptions, but actually speaking to potential customers.
Some of my program highlights have been receiving mentorship from a number of professionals in related fields and fields I hadn't even really thought about, to be honest with you. It's also been great to have the structure of going through how to create a business from the ground up, which has given me plenty of opportunity to reassess where I am.
There's been a whole world of things that I've been introduced to. I had no idea there was all this access to funding, there was all these information platforms that we could be able to come together, ask the questions, no such thing as a stupid question, being able to work alongside like-minded people as well who are also trying to just be creative in their own ways as well, and they all have their own visions, and it's nice to have that energy bouncing around the one space. And also getting to speak to industry experts and industry leaders, it was a really good lesson for us to see that there's a lot more accessibility out there than what we realised.
Biggest impact that we have on our founders is that they get to test their idea. They get to go and speak to real potential customers to validate whether or not they have a good idea that's commercially viable, that's desirable, that people want. When we start the accelerator, we just have ideas. And it's really difficult to test the good ideas from the bad ideas because we don't know, because ultimately the market will decide that. And so the key to the accelerator really is to give them the confidence to go and speak to potential customers, to understand the market and to decide whether or not to invest their money and time and efforts into their business.
With the RGU Startup Accelerator, I started with a presentation and a tour of the facilities to take everybody around and show them what we had behind the scenes and what they potentially could have access to. We've been working with one of the startups, a girl called Sarah. We're supporting and helping develop her idea into reality, so from concept all the way through to prototype.
Another aspect that's been really important this year and we've really focused on is developing the commercial research piece. So we were really encouraging the research projects this year to actually apply to take advantage of this program, and it could be beneficial for things like conference attendance or developing a prototype for their research, all these sorts of things. So it's really kind of changing that definition of what a startup is. A startup can be a typical business, but it can also be a research project that has commercial potential, and it can also be a third sector organization such as a charity or a social enterprise.
So Mara Kinetics started based on what I had been doing in academia since my PhD. The focus of the project is on developing a new wave tidal energy device, and we are aiming to have a solution which be easy to manufacture, easy to install, and easy to operate and maintain based on what we have seen in the market and what the challenges that we have observed in the renewable energy industry. RGU Accelerator had been very helpful for me to move the idea forward and taking it from academic domain and trying to move more towards like a real venture. You know, as an academic, you are normally very comfortable with technical aspects of your work, but turning it into a real product and something that you can deliver to the market can be very challenging and a completely new domain. RGU Accelerator provided me with a step-by-step and very structured way to look at different aspects of my work. You know, it provides mentorship, it provides useful business guidance, it provides you with a nice environment which you can look at your idea, enhance your idea, and in many cases challenge it.
The Accelerator makes a big difference in terms of impact. In terms of societal and cultural impact, it's been involved, the startups that have come through this program have gone on to educate over 60,000 children in maths around the world. It's also supported around 4,000 families in terms of childbirthing classes locally. So those are just, it's a little flavor of the startups that have come through this program that have really helped take that very early stage vulnerable idea, and we created this structure to help develop and nurture that idea over the 5 months, giving them that confidence, that mentoring, that funding, that has then given them the wings to go off and fly and become a bit of a hero. And it's also possible to inspire others to try and aim for that also.
Anyone should apply for the programme because they get to work with us and they get a great opportunity to be exposed to a lot of expertise, knowledge, and a 360-degree view of people who can support their ambition.
It's given me confidence, networking with different people in Orkney and away, boosted my confidence in moving forward with the project.
It's not just about the funding, it's about everything that comes with the support of RGU, but also the peer support. So definitely consider applying.
Gives you a great flavor of what the program's been like this year, and really shining that spotlight in the School of Engineering, the labs, you know, really taking the cohort in there this year was really exciting. So thanks to Phil Chaplin, who made that possible with the School of Computing, Engineering and Technology this year, and also the support of commercial research projects too. Okay, so we've got a bit of fun here before we go into our next pitch. Not that our next pitch isn't going to be fun. It is going to be fun. I mean, you see the drum set on the stage. Again, we've never done that before. So we'll see how that lands. I'm sure it'll be fantastic. So before we get going with our next pitch, we do have a next audience prize. So you've all been tweeting and putting things on LinkedIn, posting on LinkedIn and Instagram. So we do have our first social media winner, I believe. Can we welcome, and I don't know if it's going to show, but Alex Spence to the stage. Is she here to receive your prize? Yes. Alex is actually, oh, that's not good. Alex is actually, yes, go this way, an Accelerator alumni. So we're delighted to present to Alex your very own Spider-Man bobblehead. Isn't it what you always wanted? Yes, there you go.
Thank you.
And your own notebook from the Accelerator as well. So thank you, round of applause. There you go, enjoy. See, that could be you folks. You could go home with a Spider-Man bobblehead as well. Yeah, it could be. Get posting, get tweeting. Okay, I'm delighted to welcome to the stage our very next pitcher. And big round of applause, please, for Space for Sound. Thank you so much. There you go. There you go.
Thank you. That's us. Goodbye. Well done, Harry. Thank you. Every city has a soundtrack. We have talent here, songwriters, musicians, instrumentalists, producers, but they're hitting a wall. The problem here isn't a lack of talent, it is a lack of access. When talent has no place to land, it leaves, and that means Aberdeen is losing its sound. The grassroots music industry feeds an £8 billion music industry in the UK. It is the R&D arm of the music industry. With arts funding declining and venues operating on paper-thin margins, it is becoming increasingly difficult to bring up the musicians of the future. The thing is, you can't be moved to tears by a musical experience without someone somewhere in the world having also been moved to a very different type of tears by listening to screeching violins, thumping drums, and wailing feedback. It just doesn't happen. For your musicians to be good, you have to be prepared for them to be bad first, a lot. And we've lived this. This isn't something that we've just thought up because, we're a bit bored. We're all professional musicians in our team. And we've had bedroom recording sessions. We've rehearsed in really quite skanky rehearsal studios, which are very unpleasant and kind of old. It's very difficult for us to actually do something in Aberdeen. So we end up having to go to record in Glasgow or Edinburgh or elsewhere. And so we leave the Northeast, and that is a problem. We realised that for a thriving economy to exist in Aberdeen, we were going to need a combination of professional equipment, technologies, and a welcoming environment. So 8 months ago, we started as a grassroots effort. We found a place, we started getting donations of instruments, and we started working together to see what on earth we could do about this problem. During that 6 months, we ended up creating a real working model with customers and lots of different music happening. We're building Space for Sound. It's a permanent hub that bridges the gap between people's potential and industry standard musical output. It's also an ecosystem. It brings professionals, hobbyists, curious people, and beginners all together in the same space so that they can meet together and collaborate and create new noise. We provide the space to be heard, regardless of our background or musical taste. So we have some very interesting music that comes out of our place. We blend industry potential, industry experience with a community focus. But we also are looking at how, not just about revenue, we're looking about mental well-being, increasing mental well-being through music, social inclusivity, creativity, and skills development. We want to retain local talent here and actually bring artists here to Aberdeen. Sorry, very nervous. By balancing our premium services with community programming, we're building a hybrid revenue model, and that means that we are a little bit more guarded against grant funding problems that are quite volatile. It means that we can actually build a professional ecosystem here. In the last 6 months, we've built and proved our model. In the next 6 months, we're looking to secure permanent flagship premises, and we've seen a few of those already today. And we're overhauling our acoustic treatment because donations go so far, they're amazing, but actually professional equipment is really quite expensive. So we've done with what we can with what we have. And we're also going to scale up our instrument regifting program. And this is something that people donate their instruments to us. We do them up, make them play again, and then we regift them on to people in low income. That means that our volunteers also get to reskill while they're at it. In the next 6 months, we're doing all of that, but we're also competing in Converge in the Create Change category. So we're going to be a busy few people. In terms of our customers, they are kind of everybody, but we'll try and narrow this down a bit. So they are the retired music engineer, they are the hobbyist, they are the professional musician that does operate out of Aberdeen. It's a 19-year-old budding producer. It is local rock bands. They are gospel bands also who come and use our services. We validated this, as I said, over the past 6 months. And we have paying customers. Even our competitors want to work with us, which kind of shows a little bit of what we're doing that I think is actually a good thing. We've done quite a lot of customer discovery, and we really have got a lot of support behind us. Our team has got expertise in production, film and media, education, business innovation, and we're now looking for strategic capital to help us build out that professional studio, so more than just the donations, if possible, and an advisory board to help us scale and take this right across Scotland if we can. Thank you. Sorry.
Hi there. Thanks very much,
Hi.
guys. That was absolutely brilliant. So you can breathe.
Trying to.
Yeah. I just have one question, which is around the business model and around the sort of emphasis on sales and less emphasis on grants. Could you tell me a bit more about your business or your financial modeling?
Do you want to a little bit?
We did calculations at roughly what we could make per year from our different services, and it seems that rehearsal spaces would be our main source of revenue. And I think it was 4 rooms at the place we were looking at.
Yeah.
If we had 4 rooms in our space, we could make around 30K a year, even if we weren't operating non-stop. If we got a bigger venue or had multiple venues, we could make a lot more than that. The recording is kind of an extra on top of that, and it makes the most amount of money, but it's not our main source of revenue.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Space for Sound. Yes, yes, yes. Have we all got a shaker? Everybody got a shaker? There's more shaker. Yeah, shake, 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 shake. Space in the sound. Music in the room. Thank you for bringing that joy. Oh, Chris is getting involved as well. Go, Chris. Give him a round of applause. Yes, yes. Well done. Team effort. Yes. Shaker, shaker. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I'll try. They're addictive as well once you get started. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's not finished yet. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. So we're on to our next speaker of the evening, and I'd like to welcome Sarah to the stage. This is a person that Phil was talking about in his video, who developed a prototype in the engineering lab. So big round of applause, please. Yes. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. So let me tell you a story. 2 years ago, I bought a van, and over time, I built that van into my home. And this is where I live now, with my dog Cheney. She's great. So seeing this, you might be able to understand the environment in which my idea initially grew, and how vulnerable it feels to live this remotely. And I started to have a think. What if self-sufficiency could travel with me? So I did some research. And whilst the ingenuity of the van life community shines through here, what it did show me is that nobody was creating or selling the product that I have in mind. The Roamstead Grow Box. Essentially a roof box redesigned as a portable greenhouse for lightweight herbs, fruit and veg to grow from the road. And with this innovation's help, it has now moved from concept into early development. Shout out to Phil at the back there for my 3D printed model. Woo! I love it. It's beautiful. You need to go and see it before you leave. But we're now looking at building a full-scale prototype. And I will test it on my van before it gets launched to market. So the market. I understand that this is not for everyone. It is niche. But there are people who want it, and I know that because I asked them. In the center there, that's my favorite following, because this is genius. Thank you. So these may be specific groups, but they represent something so much larger. My beachhead. Excuse me. These statistics represent the huge cultural and generational shift that we're seeing in modern society. Post-COVID, work has changed drastically. It's now muchly digital. And we have this incredible opportunity to capture this market where it is. So more and more people, can you blame them with the government situations that we have and a cost of living crisis? Lots of people are looking at alternative ways of living, and yet they still need sustainable, practical ways to live well whilst on the move. So the question then becomes, how do we turn this opportunity into a viable business model? And this is my roadmap. So it starts off as a direct-to-consumer product aimed at van lifers like me. The model is very simple. It's a one-time purchase of a Roamstead unit. And the roadmap to get there is straightforward. We start with a prototype, we test it with early users, refine, and manufacture. The stage that we're at right now is sort of all about proof of concept, proof of demand, and proof that the product actually works in real-world conditions. Funding. Always boring, so I tried to make it fun by adding bubbles. You're welcome. So initially, the revenue will come through startup funding and through early adopters via a crowdfunding campaign, which is particularly perfect because the van life market represents a huge sort of community-driven market. And the biggest cost is going to be product design and development. But right now, we're working on a prototype, around £600. That's where we're at right now. That's what we're working on. I have 4 key areas of impact, 4 things that I'm really passionate about, especially the environmental side. So this has the potential to reduce the reliance on long supply chains and ultimately create a greener future. Socially, we're looking at bringing food independence to local communities and reconnecting people with agriculture. My granddad was a farmer, so it means a lot to me. Economically, it opens up a whole new micro-market in mobile living, and it builds into UK trade in the design and fulfillment sectors. And whilst Roamstead may begin with van life, I don't think that's where it will stay. The same thinking could expand into tiny homes, into urban spaces, and temporary solutions. So, in a world where more and more people are questioning ways of living more sustainably, independently, and affordably, even small-scale food growing begins to matter. I'm looking for support through funding, collaboration, and business support and advice. Because I truly, truly believe that sustainable living shouldn't depend on owning land. Sometimes it should fit on the roof of a van. Thank you so much.
Hello. Hi, I absolutely loved your presentation, so thank you for that.
Appreciate it.
The first question I have is, what are you going to do on Monday? What is your next step?
Have a nap. No, so it's prototype. It's prototype time. I want to get this product out. The dream for me is a field of strawberries in a small way on my van. My van it's not a vehicle. It's not a thing that gets me from A to B. It's my home. I've built that. I've crafted it. Every single element of it has come from a place, has a story to tell. You know, whether it be the fire guard from my log burner or the beautiful bit of elm wood that borders my bed. It's all got, you know, these different elements that represent who I am. So if I can bring a little piece of an allotment with me, I'm going to give everything to try that. So it's all about the prototype right now. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, fantastic. Well done. Yes, very good. Really great seeing all these lovely ideas, like I say, coming through the program. Okay, so I'm delighted to welcome to the stage our very next pitcher. And please give a round of applause to Michael from Deceit AI, who is also an RGU Accelerator, no, an RGU hack winner. I hope you're mentioning that in your slides. Good, okay. Big round of applause, please, for Michael. Good.
Hello, I'm Michael Piercy, the co-founder of Deceit. Deceit uses AI to generate secure, edible, launch-ready websites that businesses can run themselves. Small businesses shouldn't have to need thousands of pounds, months of development, or technical expertise to get online. Across the UK, there are millions of businesses still struggling to get online effectively. There are many options to help, but these all have major trade-offs. Now, you could go to a developer, but they're going to cost you thousands, and it could take months to get a website. You could go for a DIY template maker like Wix, but that's a generic with no customability on the back end. You could then go to an AI prompt like Lovable, but these are really impressive design-wise, but on the back end, they're not secure. The result is that many businesses either remain offline or operate with an outdated business. This is where Deceit solves the issue. We use 5 simple steps so anyone with no expertise can get their website online. You describe your idea in English, no tech skills needed. You then let the AI and the engine generate the site, and then once it's generated, you can edit the site with drag and drop, or you can re-prompt with the AI. And then once you're happy with it, you can preview it, run a test run, and then you can launch it. We offer domain and SSL included. AI website builders today are like Play-Doh. Easy to shape, but they're easy to break. Change one thing, and the whole thing falls apart. They're not secure, and they're easy to poke a hole in. Decite is like Lego. Every piece has a purpose. You can change one block without rebuilding the whole site. Security is built into every single block from the start. That's where ours is innovative. Not just generative AI, but structured, editable, secure websites that businesses can actually run. Now, if you want to go try vibe coding, just remember that you have to prompt for every single one of these security options. So that's where many AI-generated websites are just pretty demos rather than production systems. And because AI is responsible for generating security-critical code, you can't trust it. At Decite, the AI doesn't touch security. Every website is assembled using over 50 built-in security controls covering authenticity, permission, and data safety. Small businesses shouldn't need to worry about cybersecurity. They just want to operate online safely. Our business model is simple. We act as a software as a service. We have a free tier. This is where you can go on and try it out, see if you like it before you have to pay any money. The free site includes 5 pages and free hosting. Then you could upgrade to Pro if you're happy with this system. This gives you more flexibility, 3 pages, more pages, and 3 websites, more pages, and you can use a custom domain, and then you also get access to the CMS. And then there's the developer option. This is more for agencies who build lots of websites. That's starting at £80 a month. So Decite was developed by myself and Daniel. We are both RGU students, both doing computer science. We've won the RGU hack 2 years in a row. So I've been leading the engineering, building the generation engine, editing platform, and launch infrastructure, while Daniel has been doing the customer discovery and deployment. Throughout the Accelerator, we refined our concept and then have started developing our MVP. With our customer outreach, we were originally going just for agencies, but they seem fairly set on what they want to use and just don't want to change. So that's directed us to go straight to the customer. So our ask is we're looking to finalize our system and then have local businesses willing to test our product and then give detailed feedback on their use. We'd also like mentoring and connections so we can accelerate our go-to-market strategy. Our mission is simple: put real websites into the hands of small businesses. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. I think you've identified a real gap in terms of cybersecurity and build your own websites. And I think it's impressive the way the two of you got to where you have. My question is, what would the team look like to be able to get this out there and as a competitive product in the market? And have you considered that?
Yeah, well, luckily my family is fairly supportive. So my sister does have marketing skills. My mum's an accountant, so they'd be part of my team. And then free labor as well. So, so we'd be mainly looking for the gaps that we don't have, like on how to scale the business.
I think it's amazing that the families, it's a family business already. Well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Well done. Great. Good to see that journey through the program and tying into other things that are going on in university, you know, the RGU hack, the Pirates module, School of Computing run as well, so that's great to see. Okay, and our very last picture, can you imagine, of the night. Welcome to the stage, big round of applause, Adrian from R&B Digital Engineering. Thank you.
Thank you, Aisha. Right, so imagine a plane or a car or a manufacturing line. And now imagine that you could have a living, breathing digital replica of it, one that not only reflects reality, but also predicts the future. That's what a digital twin is. In fact, a colleague, Emma, who used to work in a well-known brewery, shared with me that once her company lost a lot of money and time because they didn't have a digital twin when they were trying to optimize their manufacturing line. Hello, my name is Adrian, and at R&B Engineering, we are building an affordable, innovative digital twin platform designed for small and medium manufacturers and producers in Scotland, a sector from economy that is very important yet largely excluded from digital transformation. So the problems that manufacturing SMEs face are several. One of them is unplanned downtime, where machines fail unexpectedly, production stops, and revenue is lost. Problems are solved only after the problem occurs, right, which is costly and inefficient. A lot of companies waste a ton of energy just because they don't know how well their processes are behaving. So all of this is leaving SMEs behind in digital transformation. With our solution, we connect live factory data into simple, intelligent dashboards, which allow real-time visibility. This also enables for failures to be predicted before a breakdown occurs. Producers will be equipped to simulate changes in their manufacturing line digitally before actually implementing them physically, reducing risk and cost. Our product is designed to be affordable, innovative, and easy to deploy. It's also modular, meaning that you don't need to spend a huge amount of money from the beginning, letting digital transformation to be done in your factory in stages. So right now, producers are facing increasing pressure, mainly because of rising operational costs and tighter margins. But at the same time, AI and data analytics are far more accessible, even for smaller businesses, making this a golden opportunity here and now. Our business model is scalable and recurring, so we start with a setup or integration fee, which can go from 5 to 50K, depending on the complexity of the site. This is followed by a monthly software subscription, which can go from 500 to 2K. This would cover the dashboards, monitoring, and data analytics. We also offer premium AI modules for advanced optimization. So all of this creates predictable revenue and long-term growth. So right now, in the UK alone, the manufacturing SMEs have a market of 450 billion. In Scotland, which is our primary focus, the serviceable market is around 11 billion. Our beachhead market is the food and drink industry, particularly distilleries and seafood processing companies, where efficiency and energy use are crucial. Right now, we're transitioning from research validation into commercial execution. So far, we've completed an MSc research project. We've also developed a TRL5 prototype. We've conducted several customer discovery interviews and engaged into RGU's startup ecosystem. And our goal for the next 12 months is to develop 2 pilot projects and secure our first subscription customer. There are solutions from companies like Siemens or IBM, which are already out there, but they are too complex and expensive, so they are not built for SMEs. With our solution, you could be saving between 50 and 60% of the overall cost when compared to the solutions already available out there. Right, so now be honest with me. Don't I look amazing in this photo? I mean, no gray hair, right? So now this venture was born while I was mentoring my co-founder, Angel Barroyeta, in his MSc studies. I'm in charge of the technical architecture, AI, and product and software development, and my co-founder brings over 10 years of experience in manufacturing operations and hands-on experience in maintenance and process optimization. Right now, we are seeking for between 50 and 100K in early stage funding. We're also looking for 2 industrial partners, collaboration opportunities, and strategic advisors. Thank you.
Thanks very much. That was really interesting. I'm interested in your customer acquisition strategy. Obviously, the challenge in productivity in Scotland and businesses is to maintain that competitive advantage. So how do you attract customers to making sure that these small businesses and the businesses you're identifying on your slides retain their competitive advantage and increase their productivity?
Yeah, so, well, as I was saying, right, so the solutions that are already out there from big companies, they try to sell you the whole thing, right? And what we've seen is that small and medium companies, they don't have that money, right? So what we're trying to do is we're trying to be flexible. We're trying to offer them to optimize pieces of their manufacturing operation line. And then if they're satisfied with that, if they really see a change and they're saving time and money, then we can propose further stages for that. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good. The last pitch of the night. Can you imagine? Can you imagine, folks? So this is it. We're here. So at this point of the journey tonight, I would like to welcome and encourage our judges to please convene. If you could please make your exit. You've got some very hard decisions to make. No pressure. It's not an easy task, but someone's got to do it, and you're the best people for it. So good luck. Round of applause for our judges, please. Yes. £20,000, over £25,000 in equity-free seed funding. So yes, absolutely. Okay, so how are we all feeling? We feeling good? Woo! Is that puff and poo kicking in yet? Lots of sugar, yes, it's good. Okay, so we've now got to the next point of the evening. We're sort of going into a really exciting with the speeches and also the fireside panel. But before we get to that, we're going to play a little reminder of all the pitches you've seen tonight, because this is now also the opening of the audience vote. So this is just a wee quick video reminder of all the pitches you've seen tonight. Okay, brilliant. So you've got 20 minutes, folks, 20 minutes to vote. So please do, like I say, scan the name badges. It's only going to be open for 20 minutes, and we would love to get your opinion on who you think the audience choice winner should be this year. So in terms of some Accelerator news, we always like to keep you up to date with what the Accelerator has been up to in terms of our alumni, and it's great to have Guy in the house, who's going to be, you're going to be hearing from in just a few minutes, Highland Heritage Woodworks. Some news updates as well from ArchiLink. So these are the two Scott Sutherland students who went on the program on the very first cohort and just do amazing things with their scanning and LiDAR company. And they've actually expanded their businesses from Aberdeen now to Manchester, so employing more people, you know, doing amazing things, not just in Scotland, but even further. So we're really happy to see their success. Of course, Guy's in there in the middle. Sorry to put you on the spot, but yes, you were also in the P&J recently. Targeting 4 million turnover is just fantastic, and all the jobs you're providing there as well. And of course, everybody counts as well as just doing amazing in terms of funding rounds from Henley Business Angels as well. So really like to celebrate those wins. Okay, so this is the next social media prize. So we do have a winner selected. However, I don't know if I can see them in the room. This is posting on LinkedIn. Do we have James Brown in the house? Is James Brown? Ah, James Brown, come to the stage. James Brown, come on, come on, come on. Round of applause, please. Thank you. And we have another Spider-Man. Can one of my glamorous assistants assist me? You have won Spider-Man bobblehead, and a notebook. Oh, you get an Accelerator notebook as well. I don't want to shortchange you. There you go. There you go. Okay, smile for the picture. There you go. Everybody's a winner. Thank you so much, James. Yes, well done. We will get you that notebook as well from the Accelerator shortly. Okay, so we also have one more prize, Best Dressed prize. It's more of a fun prize this evening. And this is for people that have really embraced the theme. You know, we really appreciate the effort, people embracing the Heroes theme every year. So, of course, I don't know if you can give it to yourselves, but Claire and Sue, could you please come to the stage and give yourselves the prize? So this is the two... Is Sue with you? Is Sue with you, no? Yes? Okay. Make your ways over, yes? You'll not miss them. You have to tell, is this on? Can you tell us a little bit more about your inspiration for this prize? Because I didn't know it straight away myself.
Yeah, you go for it.
I don't know if the lectern's on. Okay.
Yeah. We were told cryptically that the theme was heroes. So Claire and I went out looking for hero costumes. And unless we wanted to show a lot of flesh off, which obviously we don't, we decided to create one. So we are the Mrs. Green Archer. So we have our bow and arrow at the top. I have my sword. And if anybody likes to pose with us afterwards, we're more than welcome to. And then as soon as you've gone, we can get off these wigs.
You're barely recognizable, so I didn't know that was you. Never seen you as a blonde. So fantastic, and well done, Claire, as well. You both win. You'll have to share it. The new Supergirl movie coming out. So we've got Supergirl and Crypto, who's our wee doggy. So you get to share that between the two of you. There you go. Thank you so much. Just hot off the press. Newly released, fresh off the press. Okay, so I'm delighted to now welcome to the stage the next section of our evening, our speakers. So we are going to hear from our speakers who are, just going to skip past that. Oh, those were all the pictures for all the social media prizes. So we've done that already, so that's great. The speakers for this evening, first one to the stage, I'm going to welcome up Guy Phillips. So is Guy Phillips from Highland Heritage? Yes, he's ready to go. RGU alumni, big round of applause, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Should be a slide, I think, of some handsome fellas. There you go, look at that lot. That's actually a little bit older now, and we've kind of grown the team. So, yeah, I wanted to share a few, they're not going to be pearls of wisdom, but there are a few things I'd like to share. I'm calling it 7 things about getting a business going and trying to keep it there, because it's pretty tough. So my name's Guy Phillips. I'm the founder of Highland Heritage Woodworks, and I'm an alumni of this exceptional program, and it really is exceptional, from 2022. My story start isn't a glamorous one. You know, I lost my job at BP after 23 years as a geologist, and that kind of feeling of not being loved anymore was pretty hard to take. And great, my phone is frozen. How about that? Why does that happen? Bear with me. This is what happens when you run a business. Shit happens, right? And I spoke to Jenna earlier, and it wasn't about a memory competition, so here we go. Yeah, so I lost my job at BP after 23 years, and that kind of feeling of not being loved was a pretty hard one to take. I didn't really know what to do next, but I knew I had a load of skills from my current role, and you know, I'm knocking on 50, 53, and I had a lot of life experience, and I just needed to value that, right? So if you do lose your job, it's not the end of the world. Use it as an opportunity, do something different. The other thing is that when you're inside a big organization, you kind of get really blinkered, right? You don't really know what it is to be outside that organization, and it's really easy to be anxious. And I was pretty anxious that I had all the skill inside BP, but it was completely useless outside. But that really couldn't have been further from the truth. So for me, I'd always had a passion about making things, and when I was 13, I helped my dad build our home, and that was awesome. I mean, I think I did a lot more than I probably did, but to me, it meant an awful lot. And that meant I kind of backed myself. I was able to think of what it is that I can do. And I joined forces with someone who knew what he was doing. And he's the big guy to my left, His name's Armand, and he's a Latvian master carpenter. And we started a business again. It's called Highland Heritage Woodworks. It was born out of redundancy and a stubborn refusal to be a victim of circumstance, right? I wasn't going to be a victim. I was going to get on and do something, even if that was to work in a pub. That's what I was going to do. That was 5 years ago, and now we're a team of 12. And, as Jeanette kindly shared, we better meet the target, but we're targeting about 4 million of revenue this year. And there's a lot of work behind that, but an awful lot of support from a fantastic entrepreneurial environment that exists, particularly in Scotland and absolutely in this room. And we've got a business now that's profitable and, really importantly, purposeful. I want you to hold on to that word. Before I share some ideas, I wanted to give you a little bit of an analogy of what I think running a business is like. When I was a student at Glasgow Uni, we'd go scuba diving most weekends. It was absolutely awesome. And we'd pile ourselves and all of our gear, way too much gear, into a tiny, small, rigid, inflatable boat. It had an engine, of course, but it wasn't really that powerful. And running a business is a bit like driving that boat. So to start with, you kind of open the throttle and you kind of push forward, and all the engine does really is kind of move water out of the way, right? That's all it does. You get going for a bit faster, and then the next thing you're running into a back of a wave, and the whole thing slows down. You've got to start again. So you try again. You work to coax the boat a bit faster. You shuffle some weight around. You get the lighter guys at the front and the bigger people at the back. And eventually, after a lot of coaxing and a lot of effort, that boat gets up onto the plane. And when it gets up onto the plane, it's a bit like the aircraft that takes off, full throttle right to start, and it gets up and running. And when that boat is up on that plane, that's when your business is starting to run. But it's a really fickle thing. You've properly got to keep your eye on that ball, because it takes one moment for you to run into the back of the next wave, or the wrong person to move around in the boat, and you're back down in the water again. Anyway, that's what it feels like to me running a business. And I think after 5 years, I hope we're approaching that point of being up on the plane. So I wanted to share with you 7 quick things. I was going to say 47, but it's generally only 7, that I've worked along the way, which may or may not be of value to you guys now. Number 1, properly number 1, cash is absolutely everything. And there's a lovely lady called Sally Charles who used to work here, and that's the first thing that she taught me. It's not profit, it's not revenue, it's cash. The money in your account on Tuesday when the wages are due. Forgive me, but think of your business as a bucket, and cash is the water, except that bucket's got bloody holes everywhere. Suppliers tax, it never stops draining. Your job is to keep filling that bucket faster than it empties. Know your numbers, know your runway, and never be surprised by your own bank balance, which I frequently am. Number 2, never stop filling that bucket. Bucket's not a nice word, but you know what I mean. Fill the hopper with opportunity. When things are quiet, it's already too late. On my way here, I probably took up 3 or 4 calls in the car on the way here, looking for that next opportunity. You've got to keep at it. You've got to keep chasing it late into the night. The time to fill your pipeline is when you're busy. It's not when you're quiet, it's too late. And the last thing you feel like doing is picking up the phone or sending an email late at night, but you've got to do it, right? You've got to balance life as well. I'm not saying be a slave to a business. You're sowing the seeds for the next job, and business development isn't something you do when things slow down. It's something you do every single day of the week, no exceptions. Number 3, build your network before you need it. Don't reach out to people only when you need something. That's not a nice thing to do anyway, right? Because then it's really too late. Consider your network not as a safety net, but as a trampoline. Build it before you fall. Be curious. Be generous. Give without expecting anything back. That opportunity will change everything, and it'll come through a personal touch, a personal connection, not because you did a Google search, right? Number 4, this is really cool. Hire people better than you. It's really easy, right? There's loads of better people than you. My role as CEO is not to be the star, it's to build this amazing constellation of people around me. That's not my phrase, but I love it. It's then my job to serve their needs and get out the way. It's called servant leadership. It's a really cool thing I learned in BP, and it's properly a fabulous way to run an organization, and you should definitely consider it. In addition, it's my humble opinion that the best thing a leader can do is make themselves redundant. Because if you've managed to hand over everything that you know, it means that team is absolutely flying and you've done everything that you can to keep them going. So that's not failure, that's mastery. We're nearly there. Number 5, know your purpose. This is really valuable to me, right? And let it lead you. Get clear early on why your business exists. Not what it does, but why it matters. Purpose is your compass. Every difficult decision becomes so much easier when you ask your question, does this take us closer to what we're here to do, or does it take us further away? It's a really, really easy compass, right? Businesses that lose their way almost always drift from their purpose. They're chasing short-term opportunity, and that will happen. Recognize it, it's cool, but come back onto your purpose. Figure it out early, write it down, stick to it. Number 6, if you have a co-founder, and I do, the big guy there, it's kind of like a relationship. It's definitely a marriage. I'm not married, but I live with my partner. We have 2 lovely kids. You've got to work at that business relationship as if it was a marriage, because you're building that with someone else. It takes real, deliberate intention to make it work. When things are stretched, you'll be stressed, you'll be tired, you're anxious, and possibly all at the same together. But you'll be together with your partner. And if you haven't aligned on direction or how you handle disagreement before you get going, it can really start to erode that relationship. And I've been there, and I work so hard on that relationship with Armands. It's probably the one thing that I work the most hard at, because he's the guy that delivers all of the work that we do. Talk constantly, be honest, set the ground rules early before you need them. Number 7, I'm going to swear, don't be an arsehole. No one likes to work alongside an arsehole. You don't need to tread on people to get where you need to be. Be focused and determined, of course. That's cool, but treat people with care, with humility, with sensitivity and compassion. Go out of your way to be accommodating, humble and considerate. This isn't a recipe for being walked all over. It's an instruction manual for building a great network, a great team, and ultimately a great business. And there'll be pretty dark days, and deals won't go to plan, and customers will complain. I've got one of those right now. Staff are going to leave. We haven't had any of those. Competitors will definitely copy you and try to undercut you. It'll feel personal, but it isn't. The founders who make it are the ones who don't get knocked down. They always get knocked down, but they're ones that get right back up, and they get back on with it, and they always strive, and they're always working forward. My dad used to say, and he did swear quite a bit, I won't do it again, full steam ahead and ignore the icebergs. And I tried to do that. Surround yourselves with believers, protect your energy, and on the hardest days, remember why it is you started. So, cash, pipeline, network, people, purpose, partnerships, and don't be an arse. 7 things, none of them complicated, all of them harder than perhaps they sound. But with effort, all is possible. This program is absolutely awesome, and the people who run it even more so. Take what you've learned here and go out and make it happen. Good luck with your ideas. Back yourselves, keep the engine running, and please watch the cash. Thank you.
Well done, it's fantastic. It's really great seeing our Accelerator alumni come back to feed into the cohort as well. That's really what we're trying to nurture. You know, you're doing well with your business, and it's just fantastic to see that sort of full circle. And also Scottish Edge finalists, you've got lots going on, so really appreciate you taking the time, Guy. And Guy actually designed these beautiful awards. We didn't mention this earlier, I don't think, but Guy, Highland Heritage, actually designed these beautiful awards. So you've done them the past 3 years, so yes, okay, that's for you. All sustainable and homegrown wood as well, so it's fantastic. Okay, so without further ado, I'd like to welcome to the stage our next speaker, and it's Rhiannon, all the way from Orkney. So really, please, a big round of applause for Rhiannon from Vida. Okay, come on up.
Hi, thanks for having me tonight. For those who don't know me, I'm Rhiannon, the founder of Fear. You may have seen my stall up there. Through Fear Botanicals, we make natural skincare products, all infused with nettle and seaweed. And with the profits from Fear Botanicals, we deliver workshops in natural crafting and sustainable skills through Fear Wildcrafts. We keep these affordable and everything is natural, and we bring tradition into it also. Firstly, I'd like to say a massive thank you to Robert Gordon University and the Innovation Department and everybody else for inviting me back as a representative of the islands. When I joined the program, FEAR was very much just an idea taking shape. Over the course of this accelerator, that idea has truly taken shape and it is ready to get going. At the beginning, I had the passion, enthusiasm, and more ideas than I really knew what to do with. And over the last few months, the program has helped me to turn idea into a reality. We've had mentors, workshops, challenges, and encouragement, as well as each other. And this accelerator has challenged me to think bigger, work smarter, and believe in myself more than I think I ever have done. One of the most valuable bits of this whole startup accelerator has been, oh, that wasn't supposed to happen, the people. All of you very many participants out there, you've really made it what it is. Even though I was joining from Orkney, there was never one point at which I felt disconnected from you all. It's been so inspiring to watch all of you grow your ideas, your businesses evolve, and to share all of our highs and lows, which I really hope that we continue to do. There's a lot of creativity and determination in this group, a heck of a lot of it. To the Aberdeen startups, well done on all of your pitches tonight. You did a fantastic job. Now this is your chance to celebrate all of the resilience, persistence, and willingness that is taking you to get here, of which there's been oodles worth of it. You should be so proud of yourselves, really. Like many other like many of the other startups here on this course, this has just had such a huge impact. Since starting, we've not only grown, increasing the amount of workshops that we're delivering, but also we're now at the point of having reached compliance. So FEAR Botanicals is ready to go from an idea stage into proper launch. And also a few weeks ago at our Islands showcase, I was lucky enough to achieve the Best Pitch Award, which I wasn't so well practiced for tonight, so please forgive me. So I just want to thank you all again for that recognition, the support that you've all brought to this, and I can't wait to have a drink with you all afterwards and have a nice deep breath. Well done. Thank you.
And I love the coat. She wore the coat in Orkney as well. It's just great. Love it. Okay, so next bit of the evening is really going to be our Spotlight on Innovation panel. So I'd like to this is a panelist warning. We're going to vacate. Bear with us while we take the lectern off the stage and bring some chairs on. So just bear with us 2 seconds while we set that up. Okay. Thank you. So here we are. Oh, hang on, almost there. Almost there. Yes, yes, yes. I'd like to welcome to the stage this evening a whole bunch of fabulous folk. Come on, just come on, let's all go. Give a round of applause. I'll introduce you on stage. Yes, great. Fantastic. If you'd like to take your seats. Brilliant. Thank you. Okay, that's great. If you want to sit, okay, I'll sit here. That's fine. Okay, okay. Brilliant. Okay. To make sure everybody's seated, first of all. Oh, I'm in the middle. Great. Nice bunch of guys I'm with, so that's good. Okay, so I'm delighted to welcome to the stage our Spotlight on Innovation panel, and it's a fireside chat, so it's quite more flexible. It's quite more relaxed than a hardcore panel, of course. But I'm delighted to introduce. I will start with yourself, Faisal. So Professor of the School of Computing, Engineering, Technology, Namdu Faisal. Engineering Services Manager from RGU, Phil Chaplin. Jan Santander, Managing Director of HPR Robotics, sat next to me here, who's actually RG Accelerator alumni. Mutari Adnan, Partner at Exceed Ventures. Yes, fantastic. Thank you for coming all the way from London, which is an impact investing deep tech venture studio. So can't wait to hear more from you. And also the esteemed co-host this evening is Dr. John Isaacs, who's the Dean of the School of Computing, Engineering and Technology. So please, round of applause, please. Thank you. If we can drown out the rain, that would be great. I just heard the rain is going. So this is just a quick sort of fireside chat. You know, it's about 20 minutes or so. We've actually got a fire loop going in the background. I don't know if you could see that, just to add dramatic effect. Okay, so we've got a bunch of questions lined up for yourselves this evening, and it's on a really exciting topic, commercializing deep tech. So our Spotlight on Innovation panel explores one of the most exciting challenges in innovation, how we can, transform world-class research into products, companies, and impact that can help solve real-world problems. So in the world of innovation, we often celebrate successful companies and breakthrough technologies, but tonight we'd like to explore the heroes behind deep tech who might be closer than you think, especially the bright minds at universities, for example. So in keeping tonight's Heroes theme, we're delighted to welcome our panel of individuals here to get the party started with the panel. Okay, so John, would you like to join me in a second just by asking some questions? I'm going to start off with a fun question, though, of course, just to get things going. So before we get into commercializing deep tech proper, I have to ask, can you share with the audience your favorite superhero deep tech in helping to solve real-world problems? So, for example, this could be the Iron Man suits, or Spider-Man's web shooters, or Wakandan vibranium. That's it. Who would like to go first? Yeah.
I'll go with Wakandan vibranium because that's deep tech in its purest form. So you're taking a material and applying it in different ways for energy generation, infrastructure.
Brilliant, thank you. Yeah, anyone else?
Yeah, so I'll go with Iron Man, actually. The fact that there's AI in there, there's all the robotics, which I'm close to. I can relate to that. But yeah, and I think 10 years ago, to me, Iron Man was science fiction. I wasn't a science fiction person, but today it's reality.
It's not really technology-based, but I like Ghost Rider because he's got a very cool motorbike and his head's on fire, but he still gets the job done. And I think that's kind of important as well, that even when you're on fire, you can, you finish the job and complete it to the best of your ability. So it's not technology, but it's determination.
Okay, thank you for that. Faisal, who's yours?
Yeah, I'll talk about Mustafa Suleiman, who is head of Microsoft AI. I learned about him very recently. I found he's a British entrepreneur. He has a very interesting journey in his life. And more or less, we are using his product in our day-to-day life. Very inspirational. Thank you.
Let me go as well.
Oh, why not?
See, I would have said Iron Man, but since Janet has stolen that, I'll go with Rocket, because it doesn't matter how small and furry you are, you can still make a massive difference and save the galaxy.
Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, that's a good film. Okay, thank you.
Oh, yeah, it's my turn. So this year's showcase, this is to all the panelists, so this year's showcase theme is Heroes, shining a light on all the researchers, engineers, founders, investors, commercialization specialists who help ideas change the world. Deep tech ventures don't succeed through technology alone. They require research, engineers, founders, investors, experts working together. When you hear the word hero in innovation, who comes to mind and why?
Shall I go? Well, heroes, normally you would get the founder, like Elon Musk, and the investment firm that invested. But in deep tech, you're talking the people that are unsung heroes. They're like, the angel investors, the commercialization partners, those sort of people as well.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, I think for me as well, it's the ecosystem. It's the people behind the scenes. I think you see a lot of people who's up here tonight, and they've got the idea, but it's really to commercialize it, and what support system and network can people go back to be that real heroes, to actually, like you mentioned as well, go and employ someone who's brighter than you to actually help you to get it to that next level.
I'll say mentors. Some of the ideas may trigger, and that may be a life-changing experience.
Great, thank you. Phil?
Yeah, I'd say a lot of the people that are invisible, the people behind the scenes that make the wheels, oil the wheels, keep everything going, do all the spade work, do all the kind of mediocre work that don't get the credit, the hidden people. I think they're vitally important, because there's a lot of faces and personalities and egos, which is fine. I mean, that's marketing and stuff. But the people that get their hands dirty and get the dirt under their fingernails and do the production of things, I think that's vitally important.
Thanks, Phil. Faisal, you recently secured a £800,000 grant from the Engineering and Physical Sciences Research Council to advance next-generation hydrogen production technology. Every deep tech success begins with curiosity and discovery. How do we help researchers think beyond publication towards real-world impact while maintaining academic excellence?
I would say both are not competing. They're very important. We have to look into supporting them. They need to acknowledge each other. And we need to provide resources and training. I work at university, so working for the last 13 years at RGU, and since this RGU Accelerator program started 8 years ago, I would say that we need every academics and a student need to learn something about the entrepreneurship. A startup, they may continue, they may not continue, but that experience or training, I would think, is necessary. Additionally, means we need to provide relevant resources, which we already have. Maybe we accelerate some of the activities. We may be a bit aggressive in some of the areas to accelerate some of the development. Means if you look into the ecosystem around, I would say a lot of ingredients is already available. In the city in Scotland, we don't have to go very far. So these are some of the things and also publication is important as an academic. That is the one important way where we can document the research and finding. I don't see any other way to publish. That is an important way to communicate with the wider audience. And looking into my hydrogen means it will be a journey. We have started this journey since last year. My focus is to produce hydrogen in campus toward the end of this year using some new technology, new way of solving the problem. Of course, in collaboration with my around 9 collaborators in this. Thank you.
Great. I did see Phil look quite worried there when you said hydrogen production on campus. Don't worry, it's all safe. We've done the risk assessment.
Eyebrows raised.
Allegedly.
Yes. Yes, okay, good. Because of course, Faisal, you were part of our Accelerator program back in the day as well, so I like that entrepreneurial skill thinking as well. Okay, so Mutari, so we met at London Tech Week last year. So thank you for traveling, I was saying, from London to Scotland to be here tonight. And I know Scotland is close to your heart, so, you know, shame about the weather, but, you know, never mind. But you've worked extensively across university commercialization ecosystems, such as Innovate UK, for example. In your experience, what separates universities that consistently create successful spin-outs from those that struggle?
Well, okay, so we ran the initiative across 25 universities, looking at one particular sector to see why there's such a gap between research quality, which is high, the UK, third globally, and then commercialization falls to 26th. So from the beginning, first of all, you have the specialist investors that sort of know where to look to find things to invest for. And then you have the generalists which don't really know. So we struck a deal with a platform called Deal Room to basically put startups there, even if before they're incorporated, just the innovation. So to give visibility to everyone that goes on that platform. And then on the institutional side, the problem that we tend to get is that the negotiations. So there's a standardized template called a UCIT template that the universities are encouraged to use, such that if it's a software, hardware, or biotech innovation, it's a certain percentage. So the problem before is you go to university and they ask you for 30%. So right off the bat, for a VC, when you come and they're just asking 30% for the foundational IP, not the company itself. So the TTO, Tech Transfer Office of the university, treats it like the IP itself as the windfall rather than actually creating a company from it. So so that's, if they adopt a standardized template, make it simpler, the negotiation, that is one aspect, another aspect of it. I don't want to go too much into other things. I think that's, so if you adopt a standardized template,
Yeah, great, thank you. That's a core problem, you would say. I'm sure there's many more problems, but so those are the core ones. Thank you. Yep.
Phil, you were recently a finalist for the prestigious Times Higher Education Awards Outstanding Technician of the Year, and I'm going to embarrass Phil by saying... Outstanding. He was the only from Scotland, which I think makes him the most outstanding Technician of the Year for Scotland. So.
Obviously.
From an engineering perspective, what are the types of challenges you face when you're trying to take an idea, a concept idea, into an engineering bit of equipment or prototype within a lab?
It's really important. It's a quantum leap from the concept, the imagination, and I think it's the threshold moment of getting that into a tangible, realistic thing. So the manifestation of that in 3 dimensions, made out of stuff, something that somebody can pick up, look around, all that kind of thing. Now, we have tons of technology that can do that, 3D printing, all this kind of stuff, which everybody's pretty familiar with nowadays, and it's really, really, it's been a game changer. When I started getting involved in what it was called rapid prototyping about 25, 30 years ago, and it's still rapid prototyping, right? They call it 3D printing because they think it is, but it's not. It's rapid prototyping because you can make stuff really quickly, you can turn it around, but like a lot of things, it's a tool. It's a box of wires, it's a bit of metal, it's a bunch of plastic, and that's it. It's really down to the individual or a group of people to create the data. So 3D modeling is really important. If your prototype and whatever you make will only be as good as the data you feed the machine. And it's really critical that if you want to make something really good, You could have the best design in the world, but to manifest it, you've got to have really, really good CAD data. And I think that transition from mind to machine, that is certainly in a world where digital manufacturing is now pretty, you know, it's so commonplace. The traditional methods of making stuff, pattern making, casting, things that took weeks, months to do, we can turn things around really quickly. Sarah's model I turned around overnight because she had really good data. Her 3D modeling was superb. I stuck it in a bunch of software, spent 5-10 minutes analysing it, made sure it worked, stuck it in the machine, came in the next morning, Bob's your uncle. It's brilliant. But that then is when the fun starts, because you're taking the idea into reality and you've kind of, it's proof of concept, because the concept then becomes the proof. But then it's about prototyping, iterations, refinement, blah, 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 blah. And you know, that can take a long time to get it right. I think another one of the issues with that manifestation is people have when they've spent so long and they're so passionate about something, they've spent so long with this idea in their head, the compromise or the need for compromise and the need to understand that actually what's in here might not actually be the thing you end up with. It's quite important. So people need to, the machine isn't I think what I'm trying to say is the machines are very helpful, they're very quick, they can give you really, really good results. But at the same time, your ideas and how you send them to that machine are more important than the outcome sometimes as well. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, okay, great. So we've explored a bit more about deep tech innovation and where it begins. You know, deep tech, robotics, AI, all these sorts of really, really in-depth technologies are out there. So, you know, I would ask the panelists, we often hear about the valley of death between innovation and commercial success. So what do you think is the biggest barrier preventing those promising technologies from reaching the market in your fields? Or working in these fields?
I think this is a very important question. We have to look for the end user, the customer. We don't have to solve the technical problem first. We need to look into if there is a need in the market. If there is no need, there's no point in investing resources and time on it. So for anybody who want to have a startup, we must start looking for the solution if there is a problem. Don't develop the solution if there is no problem. Thank
you. So value of death is really when you run out of your grant funding for your TRL, but you're not making anything. So we're talking deep tech here. So because typically deep tech, you need some production facility. So with deep tech, you usually create a supply chain. That's what makes it different from a normal software. So it's that gap. And this causes whole lots of problems. We call despair and dilute, for example, where the founder despairs because he's struggling to get money, so he starts diluting his equity, basically. There's actually a term on that. So in deep tech, there's three types of capital you need. So one is the grant funding, which is the TRL development, the basic stuff. Then second, you need a VC, patient capital, not the generalist VC, because their fund timeline doesn't align with deep tech. So they're like 7 years or something. So they'll try and force you out, prematurely. So you need patient capital. Luckily, the biggest, most prolific investor, the university spin out is Scottish Enterprise. So they made 35 investments last year. Edinburgh has done quite well, and Glasgow University has done quite well out of that. And then finally, you need a partner, industry partner, to help, especially with biotech. So for example, we would, one of the Scottish universities, so for the initiative I ran to improve commercialization, we pulled 3 of their IP, gave them a small grant to develop TRL of one of them. Then we went to a big pharma, a Japanese big pharma, to do a joint development agreement. They'll have a first right of refusal after the joint development agreement to trial the technology. At the same time, you went and spoke to a German family office that does pre-seed investments to get the capital. So that is what makes it different, deep tech, from normal software, in essence.
Brilliant. Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, I'm just conscious of time as well, so I'm just gonna speed through a few questions here. So my question comes to yourself, John. So you've benefited from the RGU Accelerator and ETZ supply chain program. With a multi-million-pound turnover now with HPR Robotics, you've successfully commercialized advanced technologies, driving down the cost of subsea inspection. So what has surprised you most about the journey from a technical innovation to commercial adoption piece?
I think, you know, I came new into that industry, and bringing new ideas and new technology was actually quite easy. And I think that's where the entrepreneur bit kicks in. But what probably surprised me was how long it took to de-risk it, to get it validated, and to actually get it adopted, and to get that trust. And I think, you know, that's again, you know, when you hear about companies investing, you know, they don't just invest in the technology, they actually invest in the person and who they believe that can actually take it from A to K, not necessarily to B. You know, so I think that was probably a bit of an eye-opener to just, you know, how much focus, you know, we've actually introduced multiple new technologies and really challenging the industry in terms of driving O&M costs down in a new offshore wind sector. You know, there's new opportunities, you know, as the world's growing. But, you know, we saw tonight great AI presentations, technologies that's going to make a difference. But I guess the warning just needs to be out there that the buyers are going to scrutinize it even more, because there's so much more choice and there's so much more technologies available because of the acceleration of AI. So, yeah, that's probably my bit that I found most surprising.
So, is that still on? Yeah. So looking ahead 10 years, which emerging technologies are you most excited about, and why?
Well, there seems to be a convergence on future of compute. So as he said, AI, well, everybody knows AI is now everywhere. So future of compute is basically the compute for the AI. So I'll give you an example. So there's a huge amount of, almost trillions going into build out of data centers in the US. So the available data center capacity for AI is divided between China and the US, and we can't really use China, so we use the US. And within the US, they have an energy deficit of about 26 gigawatts, so that's huge. We're talking like dams here. They can't really build, it's not possible to build the number of dams to serve that. So there needs to be something different about the data center. The cost structure of a data center, 50% is from the heat, from the cooling system, from the heat. So we still use copper wiring, which generates most of the heat, 100 times, not the actual it's not the GPU that generates the heat, it's the wirings in between, the copper wiring. So if we can move to optical compute, where all the wires are moved to optical communications, then you have much higher throughput, zero heat generated. So that's what people mean by future of compute. That's an area that that's sort of catching interest. So I know Oxford and IMEC, there's a research, so Belgium has this system where the university is sort of integrated to the research infrastructure called IMEC. So they bring in entrepreneurs and residents to work with researchers, specifically in this area, to try and see if they can create companies. I know there's been one spin out called Ophthalmasis from Yorkshire and Humberside. I can't remember which university it is. So yeah, so future compute is an exciting area, but there are other areas, of course, physical AI, synthetic biology, or engineering biology. Yeah, anyway.
Good tips, thank you.
Thank you. I would say critical raw material. Each of us here, we have got a smart mobile. It doesn't work without critical raw minerals or materials. So as you said, copper and other material, these are very important. It may be difficult to access in times ahead for various geopolitical reasons. I think that is an area which we have to watch out. If we have to have a sustainable energy supply, if we want to have a data center, without critical raw material, nothing happens.
Okay, just one more.
I think in terms of renewables and hydrogen together, geothermal drilling, superheated steam water from 3 to 5 kilometers down to then produce clean hydrogen from free energy down there and create free energy from the air around us. And the potential of that is pretty good, because the only thing you need to do easily is drill a hole. You can develop cheap energy that way and cheap hydrogen because the heat's already there, and you recirculate water.
Brilliant.
It sounds really simple, but it is really simple because the heat's down there and it costs you nothing, and you know, hydrogen, it's everywhere.
Brilliant. Okay, well, listen, I could talk all night, but thank you so much for this really riveting and interesting conversation. Please, round of applause for our panelists, Spotlight and Innovation. Thank you so much. We'll just exit. Yes, please. Yes. Thank you. Fantastic. Okay, don't go anywhere, folks. Very next up, we have our awards, the all-important awards. So, drum roll, please. Who's excited? Yes? Are the startups excited? This is a big one, guys. This is what it's all been working towards. What a night, what a night. Okay, so brilliant. So we are going to kick things off right away. Do we need the lectern? I think we're okay without the lectern, actually. Okay, so the first award of the evening, yes, myself and Chris. Would you like to join me on the stage? Yes? Supporter of the award? Supporter of the year award, yeah. So do we have our glamorous assistant to help hand us the awards as well? So we could see? We can see which one's which. Supporter of the year? Okay. Okay, I think we know who it is already, so yes, yes.
Thank you.
So this award, how would you describe it, Chris? It's for someone who supported the program,
yes,
and above and beyond.
Yes.
Nothing without our mentors and judges and coaches and yeah.
No, and it's just been so reliable and consistent and has supported us for a few years now.
So yes, so the winner is, I'd like to welcome to the stage Judith Stephen. If you're here, Judith, are you here? Is supporter of the year? Ooh. Okay, we might have to make sure Judith gets her award at another time. She was here.
Yeah, she's always here for the team. She's always here for the cohort.
She's done a. She's done amazing.
Right, she's not winning the award this year. The new winner.
Oh no! Oh no! We'll make sure she gets this award. And we have a lovely RGU tartan scarf. Would you like to display that? We're going to make sure Judith gets. She's been a great personal development coach for the cohort this year. Sure. So we're really excited about that. Okay.
I think I'm off now. Anyway, so we got a next award.
Next award. This is the RGU tartan. We'll make sure she gets it. Yeah. Okay. Next award. Next award.
Extra Mile.
Is the Extra Mile Award. So I'd like to welcome up the EIG team for that. So that's Candace, Yair,
check up.
And Dawn to the
Round
stage.
of applause.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
I'll get the check.
Pardon?
I'll get the check.
Okay, so this is for the Extra Mile Award. And this is really about somebody who's shown up big time for the project and for their startup. Would you like to announce the winner?
So the winner for the Extra Mile Award is Gregor Robb's Elevar Fuel.
EN team, so the Islands Entrepreneurial Network team up to the stage. Yes, thank you, yes. Naomi, Kirsty, Moira, yes. Chris will give you the envelope.
Yes, found it. Yes. Best Showcase Stand Award.
This is the best stand.
And this award is for the best showcase stand. So we've had so many beautiful displays out there today. And I'm going to get Kirstine to open it. Ooh. And the winner of the best stand for the evening is Equity Lighthouse.
Thank you to Naomi, Kirsty, and Maria should be here with us, but she got stuck in transit, unfortunately. Next, I'd like to welcome up to the stage Cara from Alumni. Is Cara here still? Yes, come on down, Cara Bird. You've been instrumental working with Felix Chung on the Sustainability Awards. You'd like to say a few words on Felix's behalf as we present this award. Can we get a mic? Yes, a mic here. There you go.
Thank you, Aisha. I'm really delighted to be here tonight presenting this award on behalf of Felix Chung. Felix is a graduate of Robert Gordon University and also a long-term supporter, so it's really great to be presenting this award. This year marks 40 years since Felix graduated from Robert Gordon University from the Scott Sutherland School of Architecture. Big milestone because it kind of demonstrates the lasting connection that our alumni have with RGU, but also the vision, innovation and impact that Felix has had in the time since he's graduated. No stranger to entrepreneurship, I think it's fair to say about Felix. He has a portfolio of businesses that cover fashion and textile manufacturing, international supply chains, trade policy, and now the emerging carbon economy, so all really exciting stuff. Tonight's award celebrates those same qualities in line with Felix. The Felix Chung Sustainability Award recognises a team that's developed a venture with a clear commitment to sustainability, a startup that is helping to accelerate positive change through inspiring, innovating and creative approaches to tackling climate change and environmental degradation.
I'd like to do the honours.
This is exciting.
Oh, this is £5,000. £5,000, folks. Equity free.
And the winner is Mara Kinetics.
Yes, thank you so much. Really well done. We'll make sure Felix knows it was you who's saying so, definitely. Okay, next up to the stage, I'd like to welcome our distinguished speaker, Jeanette and Nick Fife, up to the stage to present our Creative and Culture Award, please. Yes, big round of applause. Our speakers, yes. Okay. Yes. Thank you. That's great. Would you like to say a few words? Now, this is a new award in the Accelerator, so we're delighted you could both do it. Would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, so this is the Creativity and Culture Award for a startup that demonstrates strong cultural and creative impact in arts, heritage, media and design, as well as relevance, inclusion, representation and connection to people and place. And the winner is?
Do I have the
yes,
privilege?
Yes,
Thank
go
you.
for it. Go for it.
It's £5,000. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Space for sound.
Absolutely. You're the pioneers in this award. Yes, so thank you so much. We're delighted for this category. Next up, we have the Innovation Award, and I'd like to welcome up the judges to the stage at this point. Yes, to present these awards. Yes. Would you both like to come up? Absolutely. Round of applause for our judges, please, folks. Great. Thank you.
Perfect, thanks very much. This award is for a startup, including third sector or research project, which has demonstrated an innovative and unique concept which showed strong commercial viability and has the potential to scale and create global impact. The judges have not only just awarded to this business, but also the founder, who they believed, whether it's this product or future products, true innovation is demonstrated by the founding entrepreneur. And the winner is Chargitech.
Brilliant. And our very next award, going straight on, right to the judges, sticking with the judges. Phil, would you like to say a few words about the Impact Award?
Yeah, the Impact Award, as is in its name, is for the venture that can make the biggest impact on society, both locally and in broader Scotland. And I think this particular venture is aimed at one very important key sector of food and drink in the Northeast and in Scotland, and is aimed at helping an industry that is characterized by SMEs to get access to what is very expensive digital twin technology. And if you haven't guessed, the winner is R&B Digital.
Is for best pitch. Okay, so here we go. You have to fight between the two of you who's doing it. Okay.
Give it to the man with the gob. This was a particularly tough award. The standard of the pitches was, I think we can all agree, was outstanding. So I think everybody should give themselves a round of applause for everybody's pitch. But there was one award that was compelling, convincing, and memorable. So much so, I might buy a camper van. The winner of this award, if you aren't successful in your business venture, you have a future in the media. And the winner is Homestead.
The Important Audience Choice Award, and for this I'd like to welcome to the stage friend, colleague, ecosystem partner Nick Bansell from Barclays Eagle Labs. Big round of applause, please. Well, Nick didn't really know he was doing this, so but why not? You're here. So Barclays has sponsored and contributed to the program over the past few years, so we really appreciate Barclays Eagle Labs support. Would you like to do the honors? Actually, sure. This is a big one. This is one you voted for. This is £2,000, folks.
And the audience choice.
Oh, hang on. Need a mic.
And the audience winner is Chargely Nathan.
Oh! much wraps this up, folks. Thank you so much for your engagement and your interaction this evening. I know we were running slightly a bit over, so really appreciate you sticking around and hanging out. Like to, encourage you to come back next year as well, so that'll be great. A lot of thank yous. I'm just going to run through really quickly before Colin, the chair of the board, who's very kindly offered to give his closing remarks, comes on stage. So I want to say a really big thank you to Opportunity Northeast, our ecosystem partners, TechScaler, Barclays Legal Labs, Converge, Business Gateway Interface, Judith Stephen Coaching, even though she wasn't here to receive her award, but it's okay, it's fine. Susan McLennan, Murgatroyd, James Brown, Shepherd and Wedderburn, who support us with the legal templates and document system, Data Lab, Startup Grind, TechScalers, AB15, Bob and Derek, who do great storytelling sessions. And a special showcase thanks to Dr. John Isaacs, who designed a lot of the graphics we're seeing tonight, School of Computing Engineering Technology in general, just for all their support, Ian from the Gate, what was the printing, Nick Robbins and team for the catering, amazing catering. Yes, shout out the catering, right? You always go above and beyond, and you don't need to be fair. Really creative, our mark. Sue Clarkson, Claire Murray, Stephen Napier, and events at RGU, and also to these guys, the AV guys who always do such a good job with all my crazy requests. Okay, without further ado, I'd like to welcome to the stage to give your own, just a few words, Colin Hunter, chair from the board. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you. Good night. See you.
Well, thank you. Thanks very much. And a few brief words, but what a great evening we've had. I've been coming to this since post-COVID 2022, and it's one of my highlight things that I love to do during the year. And I think we've seen it grow and grow and grow. And this year, it's grown again, which is really rewarding. So well done to all of you. I mean, the true heroes of tonight, I think, are the founders. I mean, the presentations, as Phil said, were absolutely superb, and I enjoyed them all. So to all of you, a great, great future ahead, I think, and very many congratulations. I wrote down some words as we went through the night, just things that kind of struck me. First thing I wrote was the diverse range of projects. I mean, it was phenomenal, the different projects we've seen. The creativity we've seen, the resilience, ambition and enthusiasm and impact. So all of these things, I think, were witnessed. And we're very proud, I think, at the university here of our entrepreneurial sort of entrepreneurship and innovation drive, which is really part of the RGU DNA. And I think we've seen that in spade loads tonight. But there's also a lot of stuff going on at the moment, as we all know, around universities' inability to prepare people for the real world. And I just feel that they need to come sometimes and just look at what we're actually doing and what we're actually doing here at Robert Gordon University, and both in terms of our graduates and all those that go through and get prepared to go into work, but in a project like this. It's really phenomenal what we actually do to contribute to the local economy. So I think that's all great. So final words, huge thanks to Isha and her team and all of those who've helped tonight. Thank you very much. To the founders, keep building, and Jeanette's words, aim high. Mentors, partners, investors, thanks for all of your time, expertise that you've given to the project. And I just think this evening always shows Robert Gordon University at its absolute best. And congratulations to you all, and thanks very much, and have a safe journey home.
We're just wrapping up, folks, but just before we do, actually, I have some special plaques to give people. So we'd like to present to Phil. Phil Murray, please come to the stage. We've planted a tree in your honor. In your hometown, probably around Yorkshire, I think it's a round of applause for Phil, please. We've planted this tree for all the work you do to support entrepreneurship and innovation at the university. So thank you. Just a special few notes for you. Thank you. You've got a tree as well, so that's great. And the next person we would like to say a really big special thank you to, of course, is Jeanette Forbes. So please come to the stage. We've also planted a tree for you. So we have a lovely bouquet of flowers. Beautiful flowers for you. And Claire, would you like to hand Jeanette also your tree? And funnily enough, you and Phil maybe grew up around the same place, actually. So Yeah, you got that in common. Again, for all the work you do to support enterprise, being a woman of substance, leadership from the heart, we really appreciate your commitment to the university. Thank you so much. Okay. We do have also some gifts for our speakers as well, which is the lovely RGU tartan. So we'll be distributing that as the evening wraps up now. So you're all kind of looking at me very excited. So this is it, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for staying. Yes, you are released. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you for the support. Yes. Winners on stage. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evenings. Yes, I will see you next year. Thank you. Winners to the stage, please, and the cohorts. Yes. Pictures.